Yeah. In the days of old, 5 elements were known: MCing, DJing, graffiti had grown, B-boy and knowledge, the pillars of the game. But a 6th emerged, adding to the flame. Comics and hip-hop, a fusion so tight. Visual storytelling, lyrics that ignite. From the pages to the beats, a seamless blend. The 6th element, where 2 worlds transcend.
Welcome to the 6th Element Show, where comics and hip-hop flow. Reno and Stu guided the way, bringing you the culture every day. Welcome to the 6th Element Show, where comics and hip-hop flow. Reno and Stu.
What it is, what it do, what it be, what it look like, what's happening, y'all? It's going down. Matter of fact, you know what's up, Stu?
What's up?
Let me tell you something. It's good. It's official. It's done. It's a wrap. The witch is dead, and it's official this time, Stu. We've been teased many a time. We've been led astray, run amok, bamboozled, hoodwinked, and all. But this is it. This is the real truth. Do you hear me, bro? Do you hear me? I don't think you hear me.
I hear you. I hear you. And I'm happy for it. I mean, she was in charge, and it's just one failed project after another. And whoever's in charge of her should have saw that many projects ago. If you in the business of making money when you're entertaining people.
Yeah. I mean, I think the real issue is that we call them failed projects because we didn't like them, but they made shit tons of money. So they weren't failed projects. That's why they kept her on, because they just are worried about money. As long as the money's coming in, it's a success.
That's true. And it wasn't coming in. I mean,
those movies made tons of money.
Let's be real. Initially, it made
fans didn't like them. The fans of Star Wars hated them, but they made tons of money.
Yeah, and we gave it a chance. That's because we were giving it a chance. And each project we thought was going to be better than the last, and it just disappointed us. And I think what they do, 3 movies, and what they say, 3 strikes you out. We gave the movies 3 chances, and we never liked them.
Goodbye, good riddance. Salute Dirk, salute Slade, salute Corey Adger. What's good, y'all?
Okay, salute to the chat. We gave everybody a chance. I mean, that's what we do. Hardcore Star Wars fans are going to give it a chance, and if they don't like it, here's the bad thing about it: you're going to hear their mouths. They're gonna backlash. They're gonna kick back. They're not going to support your other projects and your other products, and it's going to sink back. Initially, you might see some success, but they want sustained success. Yeah, no, it's not. They want sustained success.
No. I'm saying the show tonight is not all bad.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's not all bad because there's some good things tonight. We're going to talk about this goodness.
Definitely.
Did y'all know that X-Force is going down? My jam. The X-Force movie is happening, so we're going to get into that as well. But yeah, lots of cool shit going on tonight. We're going to talk about good things and fun things. But Kathleen Kennedy is gone. We're going to talk about the new leadership. We're going to talk about how Lucasfilm has already, replaced their new Emperor and Darth Vader rule of 2 combo. Also, Rian Johnson bluntly responds he claps back to the diss that Kennedy hit him with. She dissed him. She said that he was spooked by all the backlash from his Disney debacle, his Star Wars debacle, and that's why he's not making no more Star. And he claps back. He said spooked, LOL. Never that, bitch. No, I didn't say that, but we'll see what he said here. I'm gonna show you on Twitter. Also, Kathleen Kennedy gave her little exit interview. So she's talking about she's basically spilling the beans. She's talking about how the Solo movie was ass, right? She's talking about the Ben Solo movie, The Hunt for Ben Solo. Someone needs to go on and do that. She said nobody give a fuck about Indiana Jones no more. She going ham, but we're gonna get in detail. I'm paraphrasing, of course. But we're gonna talk about all the upcoming Star Wars movies and TV shows for the year and all that good stuff. But the X-Force movie is going down, so Marvel choosing villains and everything. We got some good news on that going down. Lots of good stuff about comics too. We got some X-Force I mean, X-23 joints coming out. Mike Flanagan's The Exorcist film, couple of movie joints. Green Lantern show will apparently be revealing the DCU's version of Doctor Doom, so we'll check that out. The DC also officially unveiled a new female Batman, a third one, I guess, a new one, and we like it. Peter Parker becomes Spider Carnage in the new Spider-Man Venom comic. We hear that the script is done for the Brave and the Bold, the DCU Batman, and Marvel Legends Nimrod is already shipping from Entertainment Earth. So go ahead and grab that if you right now. I know I do. Paul Morales, what up? Casual Toy Collector, salute. Paul 1966 has a question. What it is? Do you both think Keanu Reeves would play a great Darth Revan? Absolument.
I think Keanu Reeves could play anything great.
That's a bold statement. But I think he can definitely pull off Revan though.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying his range. Like we've seen him as a surfer dude. We've seen him as Neo. We've seen him as
surfer dude.
Right. And then we've seen him as like I know all the movies. What's the other movie he did? We've seen him in Love Stories. We've seen him as
John Wick. He was the hitman.
John Wick, dude. Yeah, he was a hitman. And then we've seen him as Constantine, which he didn't do a bad job at.
Constantine
at all. I mean, yeah, if you want to add surfer dude on that, but either way,
surfer dude on the end of all of them.
Yeah, his surfer dude range
is impeccable.
It's impeccable. Like. And he brings a more modern take to the character. Like you said, it's like a surfer dude, but it's just a modern take on it, man, and it works.
But I like it. No, you're right. He does. He always gets all these roles, like all these cool characters and stuff like that. He's very good at doing these characters, right? Like John Wick and what's his name? But Darth Revan is like a Sith and a Jedi. He's a Jedi that becomes a Sith, that becomes a Jedi. And so he's got a lot of range in the character. So it takes a guy with range to play it. So, but I think Keanu Reeves. Wait
a minute, I sent you a thing about Darth Revan the other day. Did he ever have a purple?
It's like he looks like Darth Revan. But we don't even know. Darth Revan's like from a book. It's like a video game. It's like, what does he even look like? We don't know. But for some reason, Keanu Reeves looks like him.
Did they ever show his face? Did they ever show Darth Revan's face?
His mask is like super long and thin, like Keanu Reeves.
Wait. Remember I sent you the thing? Remember I sent you the thing? I was like, yo, is this true? And they were talking about Darth Revan, his mask. They were saying his mask is a fallen Mandalorian mask.
Oh yeah.
Is that true? Is that
true? Yeah. The mask of Revan is an artifact too. All right, so Paul said yes, he did have one purple lightsaber and one red saber. That's
right, that's what I was asking. Yeah, did he have a purple? Because they say the purple one is like really special.
Yeah, purple lightsaber is like you kind of like a little dabble in the dark side a little bit because your blue lightsaber is getting a little red, it's getting a little purple. That's kind of the idea. That's why Mace Windu had the purple saber because he uses a saber form that you have to tap into the dark side to be successful at using it. And so Mace Windu is a he's Jedi Council leader. He's the boss of the Jedi. But if you get him in that ring, he gonna get dark on you.
Now is that why he was able to take the Emperor down really quickly than the other ones when they were fighting him in the tower?
That's definitely why he could withstand that lightning and shit with that purple saber.
Yeah, because then if it wasn't for Anakin, he had the Emperor beat. He had him. He was like, "Oh, I got you." He had him beat, hands down.
He pretty much, yeah. Well, I don't know.
Remember, he had him down, and he was like, "Yo," and then Anakin interfered.
But okay. I'm of the mind that the Emperor allowed him to beat him so that he could manipulate Anakin.
Okay.
He's gonna kill me, and then get Anakin to do something. Once Anakin crosses that line and slices the arm off and kills a Jedi, he didn't cross the line. Now I got you. Now I got you. You're my apprentice now. Now I got you. You didn't cross the line. You didn't kill the Jedi. So Emperor Palpatine, you gotta remember, is the most like powerful Sith in Jedi lore, Star Wars lore. Yeah, there's some other like ancient Jedi Sith that have done like crazy feats, but in canon and then also just even compared, like they've done a lot of like comparisons about Sith powers, and Palpatine's always very, very, very high, really high, like top 3. So I don't think Mace Windu really beat him. I think he let him win just to manipulate. Stu, check your phone. Sent pics of Darth. Manny 108 107.
Pics of Darth. All right, got you. Checking it now. But now Emperor Palpatine, I was reading because I've been reading a lot of Star Wars stuff lately. It's been coming up on my feed, and they were saying that Emperor Palpatine's force power, like every Jedi or Sith, has like a specific power. Some people can see the future. Some people are just good with lights. They always have something like that. They're stronger. Right, and they said that his was manipulation. So they said whenever he talks to you, he's manipulating you. Like he's using the force, but you don't know it because it's so strong. And they were saying, like, if you look at the movie scene where he was watching something and he was talking to Anakin, he was actually using the force on him. He was manipulating him. And he said Anakin didn't know it because that's how strong he was. And that's why Mace Windu was like, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him because as he talks, he manipulates you. So don't listen.
That's why he's one of the most powerful. I mean, you got to think about it. He's the only Sith that ever successfully became Emperor of the Galaxy. Like he won. He overthrew all the good guys and everything. Made people vote for him. It's very Trumpish. He's like, I'm the Emperor. Hey, he got voted in.
Yes, he did. And they all voted. Yeah, you're right.
Because he's scared. Because he did what Trump did. He said, "I'll make America white again. I'll give you your country back again." Oh, well, that Obama shit scared the fuck out of us. So we're voting for this guy. That's what happened, bro. That's why we sitting where we are right now because of Obama. I think Tupac was right when he said, "I know it seems heaven sent. We ain't ready to see a black president." And because he's not saying, Pac wasn't saying. And I thought he was. I thought he was saying this. He wasn't saying we couldn't elect one and we couldn't get a black president elected. What he's saying is we're not ready. Even if we get one elected, don't do it yet because America ain't ready. And he was fucking right because we got Obama elected, and the backlash I think from Middle America was they got so scared they thought, oh, they lost the country or some shit like, and then all it took was a guy to come back and say, I'll give it back to you. And then look, he's got stormtroopers in the streets killing people, running and killing people.
He's right.
Impunity.
Yeah, he's right. Even Obama said it. Even I heard a speech where Obama said it. I heard a speech where Obama even said it's his fault. He said it's my fault. He said because it started with the birth certificate thing, and then Obama was like, well, what did he say? He said he told him something about if you think you could do a better job, run for president, and stepped off. And he was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, well, hopefully we don't. After a storied tenure in a galaxy far, far away, one rife with excitement and battles, one lost, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down. It's official, and in her place, new heirs to the empire, new emperors have been elected. Dave Filoni and his apprentice Darth Lynwen Brennan. So they split duties to focus on the creative side and the business side, very much like Gunn and Safran. They're doing a Gunn and Safran here. So we got a Filoni and Brennan, respectively. So the Force sensitive, the news, long rumored, doesn't come as a surprise, but it does raise questions about the future of Star Wars, right? What it's going to look like without Kathleen Kennedy's hard-fought experience. Because, all you could say what you want about her feminizing and down in the patriarchy and all this nonsense, and you could have all your gripes, but outside of Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy is an extremely successful movie producer. She's not just like came out of nowhere. Like George picked her because she was, a big successful producer. So whether it's, this current theatrical landscape, I don't know, we'll embrace, but Star Wars is definitely, I think, in a crazy fucked up spot. A lot of people, dancing in the streets, celebrating, but it's like one of those things. It's like, okay, we overthrew the dictator, but now there's no leader. Right now it's lawless. Okay, well, let's install this guy who was like we thought was good, but let's see. We don't know how it's going to go. There's plenty of directions that it could go, but a hesitancy to commit to anything more than one-off stories. And they may have put an end to a Star Wars story branding after the Solo debacle, but this is essentially still what its upcoming film lineup is. These decisions have also come down to Disney and Bob Iger, who I'd say is more risk averse than any of the leaders at Disney's satellite studios. Despite his encouragement to Kennedy to be bold in this era where it takes more than brand recognitions to get audiences into theaters anymore. And Jon Favreau directed, and Dave Filoni co-wrote The Mandalorian and Grogu. That's coming out May 22nd. Produced by Kennedy. It's the first Star Wars film since The Rise of Skywalker. Yet the franchise's return to the big screen seems relatively, whack. The film was greenlit in lieu of the 4th season of The Mandalorian during the labor strikes of 2023. But the release of the first trailer left a lot of people wondering, why Lucasfilm just didn't wait, and make season 4. At this point, in the film's marketing, there's little to distinguish it from looking like a Disney Plus series. You know what I'm saying? You've seen it, right? You there?
No, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen the Mando and Grogu?
I've seen the trailer, but not the I've seen the trailer, not the movie. I haven't seen the movie yet. I don't think I'm gonna go see it. It's not out yet. I know, but I don't think I'm gonna go see the movie.
Are you reading something right now?
No, I was looking for something.
You've not been listening to what I'm talking about at all.
I listen to everything you heard. I'm looking for something.
Lord,
I'm trying to find this thing. Manny said he sent it. I don't know where he sent it. He said he sent it to my phone. I don't know where he sent it. So I'm like, where is it at? So I'm texting him like, where is it at? He sent me something with Darth. So.
Yeah, Manny, where'd you send the phone, man?
I'm trying to look at the picture of Darth. I'm trying to find these joints.
Is it Darth Revan? I guess I assume Darth Revan.
I don't know. He just put Darth. I'm trying to figure out what he's. I'm trying to find them, but they're not here.
Well,
I don't know. Nah, Grogu. I don't think I'm gonna go to the movies to see Grogu. I really don't. I don't know.
No,
I'm be on the fence. Nah, because it's.
I'm not.
All right. First of all, what's the running time gonna be? I'm not going. And second of all,
it's a 2-hour movie.
Second of all, I like The Mandalorian, but I'm with everybody else when it comes to Star Wars right now. Do I really want to spend my money on that? When I wait for it to come out on video, I can sit home on my couch and get it for cheaper or get it for free on Disney Plus.
Okay, what if Star Wars came out and they were like Old Republic, Rule of Two, Darth Bane trilogy coming to the theater? You going?
That's tough, dog. Now you put me in a hard place. That's like saying if I had Kim Kardashian in front of me.
Okay, let's say they're doing the 4th Unleashed live action movie.
I'll go see it. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be interested. I'll be interested. I'll be interested in it. I'll be interested. I'm going. I'm interested. You got me. Yeah, you got me. I'm interested. You got me. I'm interested.
That's what I'm saying. People be talking about this shit. Oh, Star Wars is dead. It's dead until they come up with something dope. Like I'm not counting them out, bro. Star Wars is my lifelong shit. I'm not counting them out. There's always room because look, Kathleen Kennedy's gone. Now someone else is coming in. Disney bought this shit from George Lucas. What about when someone buys it from Disney? Bro, Star Wars always has a future. It always has a future. There's always what? A new hope. Ooh! There's always a new hope, bro. There's always a new hope. Star Wars can always be reliving.
You know what? You're right, man. Because every year, I'm going to keep it a buck. I play Call of Duty. A lot of people know I play Call of Duty. And every year, around the job, all the Call of Duty heads always ask, are you going to get Call of Duty? And I do what you just did. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's my shit. Like, I play Call of Duty. I'm down with it. I love the story mode. And they always look at me and say, what I just said to you, I don't know, man.
Call of Duty over.
Oh, but they wind up getting it anyway, like later on. And I always say the same thing you just said. I'm like, dog, like we play the shit every year. They ain't let us down yet. Like you say that until you play it, until you get it so you right. They come out with some stars. I'm down. I'm 2 feet in. I'm 2 feet in.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm 2 feet
if
in.
something dope comes out, why wouldn't you go? Like if they come up with something new and it's dope, why wouldn't you? You know, to say that you don't like anything they've been doing lately, cool. But to say I'm not coming back is crazy to me. Like I don't get it because like, okay, you're not coming back as long as like the current regime is pumping shit out. I get that. I'm with you. It's like the MCU. It's like I didn't want to see the MCU. I wanted to see the MCU X-Men so bad before Endgame came out. When the MCU was the pinnacle of Hollywood. Oh man, they gotta do X-Men. After Endgame, when MCU became the MCU and it was just pure butt, I don't want these people touching my X-Men. Like I'm cool. I don't even want to see it. Please don't make an X-Men movie.
You don't want Fox touching the X-Men.
I don't want MCU touching it. Not this MCU. But if they change their style and go back to pre-Endgame style and comic accuracy and trying to get and being down with the fandom and not just fucking doing wild dumb shit, then yes, I'm back and I want to see the X-Men. For example, they're getting ready to do an X-Force movie. You could botch the fuck out. They could blow that. That could be pure ass. Or it could be the best thing since sliced bread. It could be ass, bro. They can make it totally whack because it's the X-Force. So they can they have a lot of leeway with the X-Force because it's not this very super well-known thing. Like everyone knows the X-Men, right? Not that many people know X-Force, right? Unless you're a comic person. Shout out to Paul. He said, I've heard Abeloth might be coming to Ahsoka season 2, and Natalie Portman might be returning as Padme, and Abeloth will take her form to deceive Anakin. I've read that. That would be cool, and that's the type of shit I'm talking about. Like that's pretty cool. Like I can rock with that. That's prequel shit. That's Dave Filoni stuff. As long as they don't start talking to me about, oh yes, sir, yes, that's the Force I mean, sir.
Yeah,
they're doing it. This movie's happening.
And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think they're doing it because, and I could be wrong, there's a lot of Deadpool fans out there, and Deadpool's been very successful. So if they say X-Force, and this is the Deadpool X-Force, that kind of stays on track with what they've been doing. And a lot of people be like, well, I want to see Deadpool. And Deadpool's going to be the star of the show in the X-Force movie. But is it a bad thing? No. Is it a good thing? Yes. Because now we get something we all want. Deadpool fans get Deadpool. X-Force fans get X-Force.
And I mean,
movie, we all win.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that I don't know if it's Deadpool in the X-Force, but yes, that's the X-Force. I mean, the one that had Deadpool, the one that has Cable, the one that had Domino, the one that had Cannonball, the one that had fucking who else? There's so many. I got a wall full of them. My whole wall is X-Force.
Now, would a chick that played Domino in the Deadpool 2 movie, would she be reprising her role?
I don't know.
That would be
Yo. What up?
Man, I ain't coming back. Fuck that. Real talk. I don't give a fuck if they can pull the dead up. If they can dig everybody that died on Star Wars back.
That's a hard ass cover, man.
No, but look, but that's because
that's slack.
That's wild.
The first 6 movies, that was it. I'm happy. I'm good. Fuck everything else.
I mean, for a person that
hang on, I gotta pull this here closer to me. Hang on,
nah, if you're not into the books and you're not into the comics and the video games and you're not waiting to see all that shit made in the movies, then I'd be done too. I'm not interested in nothing else they have to invent with the original trilogy characters. I don't want to see nothing else with the prequels. I don't want to see nothing else with the sequels. I want Old Republic, Gamerverse, shit like that. I'm waiting for it. And I'll fuck with it. If they do something cool with Cade, like the future, if they go Legends, if they do anything like that, I'm down. You know what I'm saying? But if they got anything to do with Rey or fucking anything that they've come up with since the sequels, yeah, I'm done, bro. I don't want nothing to do with it. But I'm always gonna hold out hope. It's always gonna be my shit. Star Wars is always gonna be my shit.
We all hope, but
it's a new hope.
It's a new hope, but
new hope.
There's plenty of people that gave us hope and failed. So I don't care about hope. You know what I'm saying? That's why
you can't. That's why it's hope. That's why it's not. I don't know.
I'm good with the memories I have of the good shit I experienced during the time I experienced it. I'm done. Even with the new Avengers going according to what Manny's talking about. It's gonna be a clusterfuck, man. It's all a money grab. It's a money grab. They're hoping to try to extend the IP and stuff like that. They're hoping to do that. I
don't have no faith in Marvel right now or anything Disney. But
yeah,
I'm still here because I'm still gonna be a fan at the heart, at my core of both Marvel and Star Wars. So I don't. It's like I was just explaining before you came on.
Yeah,
I really wanted to see the MCU that existed before Endgame when shit was at its peak. I wanted to see that MCU make X-Men.
They can't do it because
when X-Men after MCU went to shit though. That new regime of the people making those movies, I don't want to see them make an X-Men movie.
Well, that's what they have left.
No, I know. But my point, what I'm saying is, I am waiting for either someone else to buy Marvel, be in control of Marvel, Feige to step aside, someone else to get in charge, someone else to be hired as writers, something to happen. But the current regime, I don't have no faith. But what I'm saying is, for me to say I hate Marvel or I hate Star Wars is just crazy to me because that is not the problem. The problem is the people that are currently making the movies.
I'm never saying that. I'm not hating it. I'm just not enthused about anybody on.
No, not you.
I love Star Wars. I love Marvel. I love those.
That's what I'm saying.
Those properties, those IPs, or what have you. I just don't like the people that's handling it and they fucking it up.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like people saying that they're done with these things. Like it's crazy to me. Like I'm not done with Star Wars. I'm done with Disney Star Wars. I've been done with Disney Star Wars. Yeah. I'm done with Disney MCU. But Marvel, I'm always fuck with Marvel. Marvel don't even have that many good comics coming out lately. That's the shit that really hurts me. When the comics started
nobody has, not even DC.
The ultimate universe and the absolute universe.
And the absolute universe is all I've been reading. That's all I read all year. I haven't read anything else all year except for like back issues.
And you really know why? Good stuff. And you know why those comics appeal? Because they appeal to our age bracket. Because those comics are for our age bracket.
Exactly.
You look at Batman. You look at the Spider-Man. He's of our age.
Yeah.
In his powers. So it appeals to us in that way. But anything else that's so juvenile, we're not jacking that.
But to answer Manny's question, I'm looking forward to the new Avengers. I'm looking forward to the new movie. I do like the fact that they put more characters in it because when comics that I've read nowadays do have a lot of characters in it. So there's a lot of characters. It might be over a span of 4 or 5 books that you see these characters, evolve because it's got to come weekly or monthly or whatever. But having those other characters in there kind of expands the story, and you get a different viewpoint if they do it right from the character standpoint. It's like watching Star Trek. Like when we watch Star Trek, the bridge crew is like 8 people, but you'll get a perspective of all 8 people in there. Do you need all 8 people to do it? No. But all 8 people make it work. It's like they're working together to dispose of a common foe, and they all have different attitudes, but they all come together, and gel enough to where you like, yo, that's what I'm talking about. They did it.
I don't think it's not a matter of the amount of characters. I just don't want to see the same actors again, man. I really don't. I want fresh faces.
That I agree with. I agree. I think it's time for fresh faces. I do. And I've said that before. I think it's just time for some fresh faces. I do.
I mean, if you're going to do Thor, he should be old man Thor. If you're going to do, old man Logan, you should be. These guys are up in age, at their age. Let them be that. Then they could transition the young Avengers if they want to, off the heels of the old Avengers. Do it that way. It makes sense instead of trying to make these guys appeal to a younger crowd, which they're trying to get younger audience to get down with it, but they're not gonna get down with it because they don't see anything that is attached to them. That's why Kamala Khan and these other characters kind of resonated for the younger audience. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of people like and a lot of people like Kamala Khan.
I like Kamala Khan.
A lot of people like
the show was great.
Her series was great. Her show.
I don't like what they did to the characters' powers and shit. That was whack. That was corny.
That I didn't like. Yeah, that
her into a mutant. It's like
and then they made her a mutant just to do it. That's the type of shit they made her a mutant. That's what I'm worried about. I'm feeling that this mutant, the new X-Men, is going to be Riri Williams, Kamala Khan, Kate Bishop, fucking Shuri.
Nah, they wouldn't do it.
They're going to just say they're all mutants.
I don't think they would do that because they know they do that. They just drop the ball for everything moving forward. They're not going to do that. What they will do is make Jean Grey and Storm very pivotal in any storyline.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then Hugh Jackman does his thing like Hugh does. He'll get his screen time, but the story was certainly surround the female mutants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? But Disney keeps Disney keeps feminizing all their IPs. Like it just. I know we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm just to the point where I'm like, okay, why do we keep doing this? Like you bought these IPs for boys, but you just keep making every male character a female, and every lead in every movie becomes a female. Like, all right, we get it. You can do it, but damn.
But in the case of Storm and Jean Grey, and I wouldn't mind that because it's in the realm of the mutants, and we do have stories within the comics based on their sagas and stuff like that. I don't mind that as long as it's written well.
Right.
We should have no problem because the action will definitely be there with the other mutants, of course. But just to say, okay, Jean Grey going through depression because Scott and this and all that bullshit, that which was in the comics, but still to they need to balance it. You have a great balance,
Yeah. Well, we got Luke sucking on walrus titties. It's a problem.
Well, that's
drinking blue milk. Luke drinking green milk.
Hold on. Snickers. One at a time, guys. I can't hear both of you.
I was saying that was just Kathleen Kennedy and her that's her name, right? And her Mary
Kathleen Kennedy.
Jacqueline, whatever
whatever
the bitch.
There you go.
And her merry band of idiots who think that to put that's really feminizing it. They took that and feminized Star Wars. That's a blatant feminization of Star Wars.
100%.
Now,
100%.
The other stuff, I can give it like, okay, you got She-Hulk. Of course, that's a female. Of course, there's gonna be some feminine shit going down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's her own show. It's her own show. Like
that. Star Wars, you can't do
Star Wars. It was just blatant.
And the women in Star Wars are already strong.
Women is
right.
Yeah, they were. I mean, Star Wars and Marvel was already full of strong females. They didn't have to make any of them stronger. I get trying to give them more.
I'm not stronger. They're overpowering. You don't have to the male persona.
Yeah, you don't have to overpower the women and nerf the guys, and you don't have to make every single story a female lead. It's dope to throw in some female leads and have some female centric stories and shit because that's cool because that is what happens in the comics and it is needed in Hollywood. Like I'm tired of seeing white dudes everywhere. Like it is needed. Like the thing is with this quote unquote, and I don't even want to say the word, the WOKE. It's like because it's become this term that people just use, but it's like really it wasn't necessary. Like it's an overcorrection. Like these things were needed, but you ain't have to go overboard with it. And that's the problem. And that's what I think turned everybody off. But I think like when you have overcorrections, you find your place. Like they overcorrected. Now they're going to dial it back and they're going to and find a medium between the overcorrection and the where it was before and find something in the middle. And that'll be what I think will be good. Like, you know, when you have shit coming out, like Deadpool and Wolverine was great. Fantastic Four wasn't bad at all. That was good. They might be good. Like it might be good from here on out. It might get better.
Thunderbolts was good. The only lackluster movie we got was Captain America with Sam Wilson as Captain America.
I kind of like that too.
And that movie had some deep ass parts
right
too.
That's what I'm saying. And it wasn't bad. I just thought that it lacked. It was just a dialogue. There was a lot of dialogue for that movie.
Isaiah Bradley.
Isaiah Bradley dope.
Yeah, I thought that was dope. Yeah, I thought that was dope. It had some good moments.
They tried to
it wasn't bad.
For the lack of you don't have Captain America in it, the one that we traditionally know, and they try to overcompensate by putting as the Red Hulk, which you really didn't need him.
Yeah, they just wanted something spectacle.
Yeah, so it's like, and then it wasn't even all that when he became the Red Hulk. What happened?
He even do shit. Yeah, he even do shit.
Now that's my point. That's my point with the Sam Wilson movie. We could have got less of those talking scenes.
It had like basically that one scene where he was like, I know I'm a black man carrying the stars and stripes, and they look at me and Isaiah Bradley sitting at home watching the shit on TV. Like that scene was epic.
Yeah.
Outside of that scene, though, the movie was ass. Like
I would have preferred them not to have the Red Hulk, but have the Super Skrull in the Skrulls. Because remember where it left off with the agent, what's his name, with Nick Fury and his.
I wanted to see a whole sequence of a flashback when Isaiah Bradley was young doing his thing. Like, see that story play out, the truth story. They could have fucking cut that in there, like as a flashback, a whole sequence. That would have made the movie ill.
They could have just gave us that as a Disney Plus miniseries.
Yeah, that may be an option still. Why not?
I thought that little short lady was a Skrull. I thought she was a Skrull in Captain America. The little short lady that at first I thought she was a widow, and then they said she wasn't. And she was like his body. You remember the little short lady? The little short lady that was that when he was locked up, that got him and Isaiah out of prison. She came in there and she was like, "Yo, follow me."
Yeah.
With the funny voice, the little short lady. I thought she was a Skrull.
She could have been.
She was just weird.
Because remember,
that's why. Because she was weird. Yeah, because she was weird. So I thought she was a Skrull. First, I thought she was an ex-widow.
And then it was like being a Skrull. If you're a Skrull, you're supposed to not stand out.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody potentially, the humans or whatever, whoever's in S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever, they could be Skrulls.
They could be Skrulls, yeah.
Rhodey was a Skrull.
Yeah, he was a Skrull. So you never know. Even
now, was he a Skrull the whole time? Was he a Skrull the whole time?
From a certain point. When we first seen him, he wasn't, but then he was. And you know what would be ill? Maybe what if it's as soon as he became Don Cheadle, that's when he was a Skrull?
That'd be ill.
I just want to know when he became a Skrull. Yo, stupid. Yeah. I just wanted to know when he became a Skrull. Because I was like, when did he become a Skrull?
But it was like Civil War or something like that. Oh, yeah. He went
to the hospital.
He got fucked up. When he fell out the sky and got fucked up.
Yeah.
Remember
he became the Skrull.
Shit. Yeah, I think
Skrull. Oh, they came and replaced
back from the code. I think he died then, and the Skrull took his place.
What? That'd be it.
I think they broke it down in one of them. But anyway, but this is the back to our main topic. Back to our main joint. Kathleen Kennedy. So she said a bunch of shit right when she left. She had this interview with Deadline, and it revealed a lot. And so instead of me trying to just paraphrase everything, I'm gonna just read it to you. Lucasfilm has percolated a lot of future Star Wars films and generated many hours of Disney Plus series in recent years. Talk about this combination of Filoni and Brennan, and you finally losing your grip on the reins. She said, 2 years ago, I went to Bob and Alan to figure out what the transition plan would be, and I made the recommendation that it'd be Dave Filoni and Lynwen Brennan, the latter of who's been running the business alongside me. She comes out of ILM 16 years as the general manager and then transitioned into being general manager for Lucasfilm. ILM is Industrial Light and Magic. That's the special effects studio that was basically created by the original trilogy. The guys that did the special effects on the original trilogy decided after the movies that let's just stay together and keep doing special effects for other movies, and they did, and they became this company called ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. They've done a bunch of movies. So it's cool that she's a part of that. It's not cool that she's been working alongside Kennedy this whole time, but it's cool that she's from ILM. Mm-hmm. Were you gonna say something?
No. I would say that was definitely dope. That group of practical special effects of that nature. Yep. Yes. And then Kathleen said she's been my key financial partner, my business partner, running the company. Dave is the perfect person to transition, but he hadn't made a movie, and I worked closely with him beginning with Rogue One to get him a feel of how live action works. His background is animation, and he worked with George on Clone Wars. Well, we also know he did Mando and shit, but he's very talented and immersed in Star Wars. He and Pablo Hidalgo are like the walking encyclopedias inside the company. They've always had the answer when you ask, hey, can I do this with a lightsaber? Or what colors were the sabers? Or anything else you need to know that has come before. Dave has now spent all of the seasons of Mandalorian working with Jon Favreau, who's been a great mentor to him. These are kind of some fucking low-key like disses, honestly. She's like being very passive aggressive. She's basically saying like, Dave really isn't fucking qualified, but with my tutelage, I've molded him into something you can use. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Dave has now, and then he went off and did Ahsoka, which came from some of the stories he was telling in Clone Wars. He was able to create the season 1 of Ahsoka, and now he's finished directing some of season 2 and writing all the episodes. He's finished that in October. But my point is, we've all been talking about this for 2 years. So her point is that, yes, 2 years ago, when we heard she was stepping down, she was, and this is basically how long it's taken. Bob Iger said Bob Iger retired, was replaced, and then came back. Kennedy says that's not happening here. I'm not retiring, I'm not getting replaced, and I'm not coming back. I told everybody I would stick around a bit longer than I had intended, so I'm ready to go off and have the chance to make lots of movies. I want to do more movies. I want the opportunity to get back to the kind of eclectic group of movies the way I used to. I'm looking for working with Frank again on some stuff, and he's been doing lots of documentaries and having a ball, and so I'm really interested in the new technology, I have to say. Deadline said AI. She said, yes, I'm interested in exploring those tools in responsible ways and working out the complications of trying to figure out what we're going to do in terms of protecting artists' rights. That is vitally important. But at the same time, there's nothing more exciting about having new tools and can expand on what you're capable of doing in terms of creating visual language around stories. I've had a unique opportunity to be around a lot of what... See, my thing is like with AI, it's like, you know, at what point is it a tool and what point is it actually doing something for you that you should be doing yourself and is basically a shortcut for your creative thing? And then we end up with computers basically writing all our fiction. And no. Well, I mean, as one who just got acclimated to AI and the usage,
right?
It's a definitely great tool to have.
Right.
It's just when you're using other people's likenesses is where I draw the line as far as that's concerned. So you can't, if you want Denzel Washington in a scene that you created from scratch, you just don't take the man's face and put it on there because that's his property. That's that's his humanity. Yeah. So when people are doing that, that's when the problem is.
I agree with that. And then another thing I don't agree with is when they type in a description of how they want a picture to be, and then AI draws a picture and they go, look at the picture I made. You didn't make that picture. That's like if you told me to draw something for you, I drew it, and then you said you made it. Like, nah.
That can also be, I'll be the devil's advocate. Like, so you do a prompt. So when you write the prompt, the ideas are coming from your head that you want it to look like.
Yeah.
And you tweak it along the way until you get it to where you envisioned it to look like.
Right.
So That's the same
Okay.
From the mind point of view.
But picture this.
Now from
Picture
the physical doing of it, yeah, you're not physically doing it, but it's still coming from the same source code, which is your mind. You're just allowing the AI to be your hands. That's
yeah, but you're not gonna say. But like, okay, let's say let's say I'm an artist and I draw shit. I'm fly as fuck.
Yeah.
You stand next to me. You say, you give me all the prompts. You say, draw this, draw that, and I draw. And you like, nah, tweak that. And you're like, nah, do that. And I draw this fly ass shit. And you telling me all how to do it. And then you sign a name at the bottom.
Well, that happens in my profession all the time.
But that I don't agree with that. I'm saying I know it happens. I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with the name of the shit that you basically just gave prompts to.
That's why I tell a lot of young artists, I tell them, look, for your passion projects and stuff that you love, you should do it the traditional way where you get the most out of it. You feel that when people see that art, I did it. It wasn't.
Yeah. But it is some repetitive shit or some shit you got to do, like some
commercially for
commercial shit.
AI all day.
AI all day.
All day. Fuck them.
All day.
AI all day. It's for your passion projects, for your personal, and you want your recognition. You do it yourself. Fuck AI. You do it yourself.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's how I separate. That's how I draw the line.
I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, isn't it? Yeah. So, Deadline says, is there some past breakthrough that compares to the potential game-changing story elements AI could help bring forward? Kennedy says, it's somewhat comparable to when we did Jurassic Park, just because it was a conclusion of innovation that George was doing already in terms of sound and picture editing and all the ideas of digital innovation that he really spearheaded. And when we had the opportunity to do the first CG shot ever in a movie, when John Lannister was at ILM and we did the young Sherlock Holmes, there was a stained glass window and the finger in the glass window steeped out onto the church floor. A lot of people don't remember that. Was the first CG shot. It was absolutely thrilling. And what emanated after that was 3 years of discussion and R&D, research and development, to get to the point where we could use and create Jurassic Park. I watched the whole evolution. It was part of seeing in the change in the way we made special effects movies. I'm not saying that it impacts every single story you're going to tell in cinema, but certainly for a tentpole stories where you're trying to work and build and create images people have seen before, I really believe the technology is going to do that. Yeah. Just wrapped the 6-film Star Wars universe. Is Starfighter meant to be an ongoing theatrical series? So we're talking about Starfighter. That's the Ryan Gosling movie with Sean Levy. Kennedy says it was envisioned as a single film. Sean Levy just made the experience so pleasant for everybody. We found this 14-year-old kid out of Ireland who had virtually no experience. That was always risky, hanging the story so much on a child actor. You're not going to be sure how comfortable they're going to be. Flynn Gray turned out to be such a special kid. When you cast kids, a lot of it becomes about the parents. He has great parents who got lucky there too. Not only was there with Ryan Gosling this movie structured in a way that had a new kind of actor coming in every few weeks, and he was one-on-one with Matt Smith, Amy Adams, Aaron Pierre, and each one was so great to watch him because he was just so excited by the actors he got to work with. It was like seeing in the best university you could possibly be in. Deadline, we're all going to take the throttle down at some point. Aside from potential AI, what excites you in the moment of exceptional disruption? I'm going to skip that. I'm going to go down to more Star Wars shit. What do you love most about it? Blah, blah, blah. What do you for credits are E.T., crazy film to make. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Poltergeist, Back to the Future, Jurassic, Schindler's List, Twister, The Sixth Sense. Big hits, each with storytelling. All Kathleen Kennedy. Technical complexity. You certainly seem like you know what you're doing. She said, I certainly feel like I know what I'm doing by now, but I also love it. The adage that you never work a day in your life if you love what you're doing. I always feel that. Most of the time, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, mainly because of the people, because blah, blah, blah. Okay, she loves her job. I would too. So what about the question I asked earlier? Sounds like Sean would be a willing returnee, and you've made a discovery with this kid from Ireland. Are we going to watch him grow up in the arc of pictures? So this is back to the question of, is Starfighter going to be a trilogy? Is it going to be a recurring thing? The whole time that I've been shooting Starfighter, we've been working on effects and are going into the movie. We finished shooting in November. We had a long post after that. And so I'll oversee a lot of those effects shots cut into John's movie, and I'll get myself re-immersed and get finished with John Favreau's movie. With Sean's movie, The Starfighter, this could go on, but it's not our intention right now. So right now, so basically, if Starfighter's mad successful, they'll make fucking sequels. You know that's how that goes.
Yeah,
they're not gonna plan it now. That's all she's saying. Like right now,
I want to say something with what she's explaining and how, you know, her accolades there, those big ass movies she's been a part of. I think, and the way she has treated Star Wars, I think that's something more personal between her and Lucas.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think
agree. It seems that way. It does.
It does.
Fuck that shit up. Because she comes from a lineage of great fucking movies.
But
and her to take that property and fuck it up like that, that's something personal, man. That can't be her not knowing, because she knows good movies. She's a part of great movies. That's something personal, and that's between her and George Lucas. And I think that's why we got the brunt of the bullshit, because something personal between them happened.
It's gotta be, because it's gotta be either that, or she had an ex-husband that was a big Star Wars fan and she was sticking it to him or some shit.
Nah,
like, if you're mad at somebody,
if you go back to the beginning when you were saying she said she wants to do movies or more movies, you got to remember all those big movies that she talked about. She didn't direct them, she didn't write them, she produced them. She was a producer. She
same thing with Star Wars.
So same thing with Star Wars. But when she got the reins of Star Wars, she actually had her hand in a spot that she never had it before, where she had control. She could say, well, let's do this. Let's do that. With George Lucas and all of them, and Frank Oz, they had the ideas. All she had to do was ride their coattails and make the production good. That's it. Like they did it. And I feel like hanging around them, she felt like, you know, I hung around them enough where I could make Star Wars good as they did, or as better as they made it. And it didn't. It just didn't turn out that way. She got too much backlash from the fans. Too much, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? When we want this and we want that. She didn't. You had a chance to make something different. You had a chance to expand on something good, and they didn't. That's just what it is in a nutshell. She just didn't do it. It's a wasted opportunity, and I feel like she feels that way, and that's why all of this is coming out, because she's trying to explain herself.
Or maybe during the time George Lucas was selling the Star Wars to Disney, she didn't want that to go down, because that was something maybe she was strong with, and she didn't want that. It's like, okay, this the company you work for is bought out, and now you got to go work for a company that you don't want to, because there's no familiar scenery. The people are different, the culture is different. It's not like when you was working just for George Lucas. You know what I'm saying? So I think in that sense, maybe she felt a kind of way like, yo, you abandoned us. So now, you know, the fuck, you know? So now it's like that, something personal like that, because there's no reason. Well, all her knowledge, history, and being in arm's length or elbow length with these creators, you turn out the worst trilogy in fucking history.
Yeah, I mean, a producer, it's like a producer in hip hop, you know, or music, where like, well, not even like a producer, a movie producer, like they're the ones that they bring in the director, they bring in the writer, they bring in the caster, they bring in the set guy, they bring in the fucking special effects guy. They're the ones that really are puppeteering the whole thing. They're the ones that get everybody together. They're the ones that make all the fucking decisions. When the director says, hey, we got to go overtime and shoot this, they go, nah, I'm not gonna make budget, you can't do it. Or yeah, we can spend a little more. Like that's all up to the producer, but they're not creatives. So it's not at all. You know, but you know, she knows that being creative. She knows creative, but she knows that she could have gotten people that were all George Lucas gung ho Star Wars, you know, George Lucas heads to make the shit. She could have. She chose to get, you know, what was her name that did the Acolyte, shit like that. She chose to get these people that really had nothing to do. Rian Johnson, like people, what the fuck, like people that have no business with Star Wars, just because they're like good at doing some movies. And it's like, that's the same mistake they made with Kennedy. Like, you can be a great filmmaker It doesn't mean you're gonna make great Star Wars films.
And it's the difference between
Star Wars films are fucking weird.
Indie filmmakers are quite different from major star-studded big franchise filmmakers. Very vast different details they look at, different story structure they look at.
Yeah,
totally different.
And if you look at the original trilogy and you look at the prequel trilogy, those 6 movies are very unique in the way they're made. They're not like typical Hollywood movies. Most studios would never have okayed most of that shit. George Lucas had the all power, like he was the god of it. He could do whatever he wanted. So it was this super creative, super from the mind of George Lucas, super weird, unconventional, unorthodox. I mean, the prequel trilogies, fucking come on. Hollywood would have never made those movies. But they were all very weird. And like, then you tried it now with the sequel trilogy, you just got great filmmakers that did Hollywood movies in the Hollywood way. And in the Hollywood way of making movies, these movies were perfect. And that's why there's this huge divide in the country. That's why there's such a huge fan base that loves these movies. They just weren't Star Wars fans before. Now they are, because these movies fit Hollywood's way of making movies. That's in a way that and Hollywood's way is just a way that they've created that they can feel it casts the widest net, it gets the most fans, the most seats in the box office, in the theater. That's what their whole methodology is based on, is how to sell the most tickets and get the most people to watch this movie, not how to make the greatest film. That shit ended in 1975. Like New Hollywood, after Jaws, it was a wrap, bro. After Jaws, Hollywood was like, we're making blockbusters, and that's all we're focused on, because they never saw so much money. They never saw so much money. It was insane. And then so
especially after Star Wars.
And if you look at the sequel, Star Wars but that was an anomaly. Like Star Wars is wildly popular, but it would not be the way Hollywood would make movies. The sequel trilogies, though, and if you look at the original trilogy and you look at the prequels, visually, they're hit or miss in a lot of areas. The new sequel trilogy, I don't give a fuck. It's like the best looking fucking Star Wars we've ever seen visually. But the characters suck. The script sucks. What they did to the original characters, what they did to the original lore sucks. Like everything else about it sucks. But the special effects are a blend of real live effects and CGI in the perfect way. It's like the prequels were just animated. The original trilogies were just a puppet show. The sequel trilogy was the perfect blend. It just was written. It just didn't fit Star Wars. It was the perfect Hollywood movie.
I kind of disagree.
On what?
I mean, you know, the visual effects of the latest trilogy. If you look at the new Star Trek movies, if you've seen the last Star Trek movies, you can fit that trilogy into those Star Trek movies, because that's the same effects, the same.
It does look like those, and I think those look great.
And no, but that's that genre. Not genre. That's that.
No, it's like a Hollywood, but that's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying, that's Star Trek. Star Wars has always had its own feel.
I wouldn't say they look like Star Trek.
No, I mean, Trek the last ones did. Like when they go,
I know what he's saying. I know what he's saying, because people say that
lens flare, it's fucking lens.
Because I know that shit. Yeah, but I'm not talking about that's the cinematography. But see, I'm talking more about the physical effects mixed with the CGI effects, not J.J. Abrams.
Listen, I got you.
But listen,
y'all both.
J.J. Abrams. Hold on, Stu. Let me finish. J.J. Abrams made the Star Trek movies, and he made the Star Wars movies. That's why you're seeing similarities in cinematography, like flares and shit like that you don't like. Like that's one aspect. I'm talking about the effects, like the aliens and shit. Like, remember in the original trilogy, they were puppets. They were puppets. They look great, but they were puppets.
Jim Henson, the master of puppeteering.
Yeah, beautiful for what it was for its time.
Yeah,
but then the prequels were just CGI heavy. They just basically look like cartoons in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
The sequel, the new sequel trilogy, my point of talking about like the spaceships and the aliens and the you know the buildings and shit, the swords, the weapons, that shit looked better than we've ever seen in any Star Wars. And I'm just comparing it to other Star Wars, but not the cinematography, the style. That's J.J. Abrams' style. That's part of why, you know, they sucked.
But I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but it's still, when we're talking about visual, all that plays a part, and it's just like, for me.
So which trilogy you think looks the best?
For me, it's always the original 4, 5, and 6.
But I mean, you think that holds up now?
For me, yes, because that's the essence.
Okay, I'm not talking about nostalgia bait. I'm talking not nostalgia
No,
wise.
No. I'm just saying. From
like
I enjoy watching that visually than I enjoy the newer ones. And
okay,
and
but you admit that you're weird for that. Like,
no, that's just me. I enjoy that.
Yeah,
because everybody got their preference, and that's just visually. I love it because I can see the creativity in it.
Yeah,
I can see that creativity in it. I was like, oh snap! I didn't notice this when I was little. I didn't notice that. Oh, this, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it through that type of thing where I'm like, okay, this feels comfortable to me. I like seeing that. Just like I like the Flash Gordon movie. I like all the old movies because they look a certain way, and it's, you see the creativity in the time that it took. Whereas the new, like, let's say 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars, you can tell, the CGI and stuff like that, all that computer generated. Oh yeah, it took no time. They had to, there's no real creativity to it in a sense of hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That goes in part and parcel with the AI conversation we had. You know what I'm saying? I can appreciate 4, 5, and 6 for everything they put into it. They put their souls into it.
So what I'm saying about the visuals of the sequel trilogy, you have those physical puppets, but they just look better. They're just made with better materials. They're not made with like,
but they're also enhanced with the CGI AI. Well,
in some areas they are. In some areas they are, and I think that adds a lot to it. But that's my point. Like, I didn't mean to get into like a whole conversation of the opinions of the nuances of visual. I'm just saying, like, objectively, they're the best looking movies of all the trilogies. My point being,
for this time,
it's like I would like to see, someone besides George Lucas with the know-how of like making movies in that way, but also having the mind of George Lucas in the creative part, in the lore part, and keeping it in line with his story and everything like that.
Jon Favreau would have been the best for Star Wars movie.
Well, and he still is, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he's still around there. I don't know what Sean Levy's doing. He might do some dope shit. We'll see how Starfighter turns out, because Sean Levy did something else that I liked, I think. What did he do? Let me hold on. Let me see. Sean Levy did some shit that we like. I know.
Because I'm a purist when it comes to certain things, man. Like, because it's my era, so I'm gonna be biased. I'm always gonna be biased for my era. It's just like a person who grew up in the 90s or the 2000s. They're gonna be biased because that's what
Deadpool and Wolverine. That's what Sean Levy did. My bad.
Yeah. So I'm always gonna be biased. So it's just a thing, But I'm not discounting everybody else's shit. It's just for my personal brain cell. Like, I could sit and watch 4, 5, and 6 on marathon mode the whole day if I feel lazy and just want to watch.
Of course, we love the original trilogy. That's the man. That's one of the first. Really, that's like the first movie that I really was a big fan of. Like, as a little kid, like, that was one of the first movies that I ever. The first movie I ever saw in the theater was E.T.
Okay.
but I don't really remember seeing it in the theater. I was that little. Like I was like 3. I was probably 3 or some shit. But
I was
first movie I remember seeing was Return of the Jedi, I think. And then but like at that same time we had HBO and
and yeah, it
at
came
the time
on
like the premium cable was doing some special where you got all the premium channels for just the price of basic or some shit. And my dad like, oh shit, he got it. And we had all the premium channels. It was wild. And you could switch from HBO to Showtime to Movie Channel to Cinemax. And every single one of them bitches are playing fucking A New Hope. Damn near at the same time. Like you could like you won't even miss shit by flipping back and forth. It was fucking crazy. Like that's how big them shits were in the early 80s, bro. Like Star Wars was that crazy, and like that's what I came up in. So like, of course, that's always gonna be my go-to, the original trilogy. Like that's my childhood, bro. That's crazy.
That's all.
Deadpool and Wolverine was good, and it was decent. It wasn't all that, but it was like really cool to see someone that at least understood what the fandom was and what we liked about, you know, Deadpool and Wolverine and comics and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, as long as these filmmakers understand what the fandom at least wants or knows, and then they can work, you know, around that.
Yeah.
But if you don't have any idea what we like about Star Wars, which is so blatantly obvious by shows like Acolyte, when you watch the Acolyte, like the very opening scene and the first fucking person opens their mouth, I was like, that's what you think we be watching? That's what you think Star Wars is? And that's why I put out, I was like, this is what my little sister would have made if she made a Star Wars movie. Like, this is someone that from the outside looking in, what they would think Star Wars was like. Like super corny, over the top corny lines and like just ridiculous, like super nerdy shit that's never been in Star Wars ever.
And my problem is, and maybe this is, you know, you can understand it more because you guys, I'm talking about you and Stuart, because I'm not deep into the comic lore or anything like that. But when I watch the Acolyte, I'm looking at the Sith, and why does every Sith has to look like Darth Vader? Why do they have to have the helmet and this voice like this or something like that? Is that Sith thing, or is it something where that I don't understand it? Like they're trying to always keep Darth Vader on your mind because that's like, yeah, if we can keep this type of character going, even with Kylo Ren and stuff like that, there's always these characters that have that Vader feel. Even though they came before Vader, it's still a Vader feel. Is that something that the Sith do? Like they're half machine, they have to be half machine?
No. So what happened was, it's just what you think it is. It's nothing. It's the worst possible thing. Fucking hold on. So Vader, you had him, and then you got guys like Darth Malgus.
Yes,
basically a Vader clone. He's a big ass, super big, tall dude. He's got the breathing respirator, the mask, the whole thing. A lot of guys look like that. Then you had Revan, who came out. He's also got a helmet, but that's a Mandalorian mask. But I suppose you could say it's like maybe a medieval Vader or something.
Yeah.
And then Darth Malgus.
See,
he's got the shit around his face, the respirators or whatever, the metal shit. But then you had the second movie, the Knights of the Republic 2 Sith, and I've got his name, Nihilus. Darth Nihilus. And he doesn't have any sort of mechanical anything. And then you had Darth Maul, no mechanical anything. And then, of course, you had Palpatine, no mechanical anything. And then Kylo, he didn't have any mechanical shit. He just wore the mask because he was Vader's grandson and he was doing an homage to Vader and said so. But that was just a way for Hollywood to explain they wanted to do more of it. Because you're right, Vader looks iconic and he's got that iconic. They just want to repeat that. I think they want to repeat that iconic. Because
that
if you go back and look at the books and the comics and shit, there's so many Sith and they don't have no respirators or no mechanical cyborg parts or anything like that at all.
Yeah.
It's just something Hollywood and video. If you look at like those figures I just showed you, it's always Hollywood and like video games that are going back to the respirators and the cyborg Vader stuff. Okay. When you go to comics and books, they don't do that.
Okay.
Because it's Hollywood trying to
change. Like, you know, is it a thing where it's a symbolization of the Sith losing their somewhat humanity to a
well,
machine?
It is that too. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is that too. That's how it originally. That's why Vader was the way he was. Mm-hmm. So yeah, of course, that's But that's why Vader was half machine,
and that's why when I seen him lose his arm, his hand, Anakin, and then I see him do it to Luke. Yep. That's like how they come to the dark side. You chop off parts of humanity until they become,
like, yeah, I mean, symbolically, but in any of the books and stuff, and you go back to like looking at like the list, reading about the history of the Sith or something like that, that's never been part of it. No, I think that's definitely a Hollywood thing. But oh shit, Stu,
what's up?
What are you gonna say about Star Trek, bro?
I forgot. Just keep going.
Yeah, God, you was gonna say something about Star Trek.
No, Star Trek is like Star Wars in a way where people hated J.J. Abrams, Kelvin timeline because they thought that it took. You got to understand something about Star Trek.
If you was a Star Trek fan, you might not like the Abrams movie, but as a Star Wars fan, it was the first time I really enjoyed Star Trek.
Right, but Star Trek fans didn't like it because you got to understand something. Star Trek supports the 5 family values, and they incorporate that so well into Star Trek that when you watch it, if one of those aspects are missing, it takes away from everything. So the Kelvin timeline, right? The Kelvin timeline did that. It made Captain Kirk kind of like a young D-hole, which he wasn't really when he was younger. He was more responsible. He took command of the Enterprise like he took command and and they trusted him and they trusted his command. He made good decisions. He didn't in the second movie. When they asked him about Kobayashi Maru, he always said, like he always said with Kobayashi Maru, he always said, "I don't believe in a no-win situation," which he did. So Kirk would do anything he could to win. He just never gave up. So in this one, he gave up. Spock had to coach him back to power and tell him, like, "Look, man, like you're not like." I understand this might be a different timeline, but you went to Jim Kirk. I know, but I know Jim Kirk. And he bought the Jim Kirk out of him. And then in the second movie in the Kelvin timeline, he cried when Pike died. But that was kind of messed up too because Pike died before Kirk got to the Enterprise. He was in a wheelchair. He was in a freak accident that messed him up. It just, the visual effects were there. Like you said, people loved the visual effects, but they didn't like the stories. Like Star Wars, they just didn't like the story. They're like
the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, they're like, this ain't really Star Trek. I mean,
it looked great, but it didn't feel like Star Wars.
But it didn't feel like Star Trek. Just like people said it was Star. It looked great, but it didn't feel like Star Wars. So now, with the new Star Trek that they're about to come out with, and they're about to come out with more Star Trek movies. God bless them for that. But they did say that these movies will erase the Kelvin timeline. So now the Kelvin timeline will no longer be canon. When they come out with these new movies, Star Trek Discovery was a total failure. It was too gay, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. And I know we don't gay bashing on the channel, but it was, and all the Star Trek fans kept saying it. The whole crew was female
with nose rings and shit, man. Right.
Man, they didn't, and Star Wars fans just didn't resonate to. But what they did resonate to was Strange New Worlds, because Strange New Worlds went back to the 5 family values, and people liked it. They resonated. It looked good.
What is
It
that?
played out good.
5 family values. What's that?
So the 5 family values have to do with basically in Gene Roddenberry's vision. He envisioned everybody being from different planets and different, but they all found a way to get along through values, through just values of honor, respect, leadership, things like that. Like you might have 2 people that are warring, and then you have one person that comes in and make them see the wrongness in both of their ways, and then they bring them all together. Like, and then they all live together and they find a way to overcome like a menace or anything that was just negative to all of them. And when you like when they made in the Kelvin timeline, when they made Sulu gay, Sulu, the actor, is gay in real life. So they tried to make his character gay. But the real guy Takar, I was just running Takar or whatever. He said
George
they should George Takar, right? He was like, why would you do that? Like even he was mad about it. He was like, why would you make my character gay? He's like, I was a gay man playing a straight man. That was the brilliance of it. Even George, even Roddenberry knew that. But he was like, you didn't have to make my character gay to pay me homage because there's no homage to be paid. He said George Roddenberry would be rolling over in his grave if he saw that. Because he was like, there were no gay people in Star Trek like that. Unless there was just a species like that. But there were none. It was always,
it was just that they didn't talk about it. That's all.
No. Well, here's the brilliance of it. He said the brilliance of Star Trek was that back in the 60s, people didn't mix. Black and white, red, they didn't mix. But in Star Trek, all cultures mix. So you could have a Klingon and a human. You could have a human and a Vulcan.
Like Kirk and Uhura got down.
Right. That's why. And he said, even when you watch the show, by the end of the show series, Scotty and Uhura were lovers, black and white. The first interracial kiss we saw on TV was Kirk and Uhura. Kirk was always dipping and dabbing with alien women.
Spaceship and an alien to make it happen.
Yeah.
We
so he said, he said that was the beauty of it, of different races coming together sexually, whatever, and they getting it on. And nobody cares. He said that was the whole thing. Nobody cared. It was just normal to everybody. And he said that was the beauty of it.
Well, the visuals of it being the J.J. Abrams factor and all that it's funny that he made both of those. And I think it's like kind of the same thing where you have they look great, but they don't feel like that classic thing that we love, and that's what the failure of the sequel trilogy was, and Disney Star Wars was. It tries to feed, it tries to please all these people and be liked by everyone and stuff, but it doesn't stick to the essence of what made us fans of it in the first place, and that's where they lost it. And so I just want to say, like, the thumbnail and ding dong, the bitch is dead, gone, and all that. Like, I'm not calling Kathleen Kennedy a bitch, by the way.
No.
I'm not. It's not what we're doing.
Nah, we don't.
And I got respect for Kathleen Kennedy.
Right, we're disrespectful. Right, we're disrespectful.
But it's just that. It's just, first of all, it's funny and it's fucking poignant, and we get what we're talking about. But I don't want anyone to think that I'm being fucking really rude. But to get back to the essence of what we're talking about here, this I want to get back to this interview, because she does touch on some things here that I think are very that you want to know. So after the Starfighter thing, she says, we finished shooting in November, long post. Okay, what have been the highs and lows of running a company built on such a beloved IP? Let me see if this is where she talks about it. I mean, she says the highs and lows include realizing how many people love Star Wars. The majority of people, and certainly the people I run into and the people outside the business, they love Star Wars. They love the movies. They might love all the shows. They might love some of the shows. But when I came into this, I realized a few things. We had walked into them at a moment where there hadn't been any movies for 10 years or more, but there still was the memory of the greatest series of movies in cinema history. So you're walking into something that has enormous expectations, yet at the same time, you know that you've got to find new characters and you have to expand the galaxy, and you need to think about who the new audience is No, Kathleen, you don't. Because there's no new audience. Star Wars has a built-in fucking fan base.
Right.
That's your audience. New people will join because we have kids. We're going to bring them. That's all you had to do.
I was getting ready to say that because we watch it with our kids and pass those movies and those values down to our kids. And like I said, with the 5 family values of Star Trek, you have to have them. And it teaches you that in it. And to answer your question about the values is what? Love, respect, honesty, responsibility. And I think the last was like communication. I think it's communication. Because without those things in Star Trek, it's not Star Trek. Because in order to meet new species of aliens, you have to have all of that. So think about the Prime Directive. You can't interfere in an alien race that doesn't have warp technology. You don't introduce yourself to them. So they broke all those rules when they did the Kelvin timeline. Kirk was always, "Oh, don't worry, they didn't see us. It's okay."
What was she said about the highs, bro? She said, yet at the same time, you've got to find the new characters and you have to expand the galaxy and you need to think about who the new audience is. That's what I feel I did. She did. And that's what I feel all the people I've worked with over this last decade did. They did. So this is so fucking telling. She said the highs include bringing in a new audience. I think we did find new characters. We continue to find new characters. Now look what her lows are. Oh, this tells it all. The lows are that you've got a very, very small percentage of the fan base that has enormous expectations, and basically they want to continue to see pretty much the same thing. And if you're not doing that, then you know that you're going to disappoint them. Well, Kathleen, it's not a very, very small percentage. It's the whole fucking thing. There may be a very, very small percentage that doesn't give a shit, but those wouldn't be the fucking fans that really give a shit. So for fans that give a shit, we all have enormous expectations, and we all basically want to continue to see pretty much the same thing. If you're not doing that, then you're going to disappoint us, because that's the point of it, man. It's George Lucas's Star Wars, and people say all the time, they're like, "Oh, well, you only want to see is the new thing and something expanded and new and make it not George Lucas's anymore and something new." Well, no, because then it's something else. I do like other things. I don't only like Star Wars, so I'm all open to see other stuff. But when you're telling me it's Star Wars, I want it to be fucking Star Wars. Yeah. Am I crazy for that? Am I nuts for that? Come on,
no. Well, because think about it. You're a new audience. I mean, when we were kids, Star Wars, we weren't as old as we are. We were young, and we saw Star Wars. We were like, "Oh wow, that's." But when George Lucas made it, he made it for the guys in the 60s and the 70s. Like, we were born in the 70s, and we didn't grow up into the 80s. And then when he came out with, he knew about the stuff, and all that. Yeah, that was all stuff from people from like the 50s and the 40s. Like, he came out with something new. So when you talk about a new audience, you can introduce a new audience to the things that Star Wars is. Like, it's not the same thing. They don't know nothing about it. So introduce them to it and see how they respond to it. Like, not saying I got to do something new with this because there's a new audience out. No, you don't have to. You don't have to.
You can bring them.
You can bring them to what you've got.
The whole point is introducing a new audience to this
it's like saying macaroni and cheese. Nobody knows a whole new generation like macaroni and cheese because we introduced them to the way we made it, and then we've been making it for years. But if we change the recipe, they be like, "I don't like that." Wow.
If you bring somebody into something, then you're bringing them into this thing. You're not changing the thing for them. You see what I'm saying? You're not going, okay, I have this thing and I'm going to show it to a bunch of people. Okay, do that. Not, I have this thing and there's a bunch of people out there, but I don't think they're going to want to see this thing. I think I know what they're going to want to see. So I'm going to change this thing into the thing I think they're going to want to see and then show it to them. Yeah. That is not the same thing. So don't tell me that you brought in a new audience to Star Wars. You didn't. You alienated the Star Wars fan base. You put Star Wars on the back burner. You created some new shit and brought a bunch of new fans in it. The problem is what you did is you wrote the name Star Wars on it. So now you fucked everybody up and you got everybody fucked up. Fan bases are crossed and you talking about who's this and percentages and fan bases and all that. Nah, man, you fucked up. You took something that was something and you made it something else and you left the same name on it and you expected everyone to fucking be like, yeah. No, bro. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You take something that's so old and ingrained with a fan base that already exists. You can't just create new shit. And she's saying right here that the lows of her career with Star Wars is that the percentage of the fan base that basically wants, Star Wars to be Star Wars. And she said, I'm not sure there's anything you can do about that because you can't please everybody. Well, really? Why do you try to? Isn't that your whole fucking...
What you just said. Right, you just said that.
You're just trying to please everybody. That's what you're doing. That's what you're trying to please all these new fans instead of just making something that the fan base that loves. That's going to bring people in. And I say it all the time, bro. It's like if you make a movie about boats and all the sailors say that movie is great, it's on point, it's the real thing, everyone else is going to come see it. But if you make a movie about boats and all the sailors say that movie's ass, it's not nothing real, it's not but you put a bunch of shit in there that appeals to a certain, say, political sect, well then all those political people are going to love it and say they loved it.
Yeah,
but they're not really loving the thing. They're loving all the shit you put in it.
That's true. That's 100%.
They don't love Star Wars for Star Wars. They love it because of all the shit you put on it, and that's what they love. Well, then you're not a Star Wars fan, and stop fucking saying you are. You're not part of the fan base unless you love the original shit. You can't tell me all I love is the sequels. Well, then you're not a Star Wars fan. You're a fan of Disney. You're a Disney fan. And that's fine. You can do that. That's fine. But my problem is when you have people like this that come in and they say that the problem is that the fan base wants it to be the thing that it is. How is that the problem? You chose to buy something that already existed, that already had a fan base, that had billions of dollars in merchandise and years and years, decades of fucking a fan base. Like, why'd you buy that thing if you were going to change it and make it into something else? Because you wanted to milk off the piggyback off the name and the recognition and use that name, and that's what you paid George $4 billion for, just so then you could turn around and do what you want to do, and then turn around and blame the fan base and say we're the very, very smallest percentage that are just crazy because we want Star Wars to be Star Wars. That's fucked up. And she's like, all you can do is try to tell good stories and try to stick to the essence of what George created. So she's going back and forth. She's mealy mouthing. She's totally contradicting herself in the same sentence. So is it a fan base that wants it to all be the same and you want to make something new, or are you just trying to stick to the essence of what George created? Make your fucking mind up. She's like, he embedded incredible values into Star Wars and what it has to say. The whole idea of hope and fun and entertainment in what is done all over these years. That's what I tried to preserve. And I wouldn't do it any differently, and I wouldn't change anything that I've done over the years. I understand that some people may like certain things more than others, but that's not going to change why I decided to do certain things and why I decided to work with people that we worked with. So, guys, she's admitting it. Like, this is it. This is all we've been waiting to hear. She's basically admitting, I know that I did some shit that no one was going to like in the fan base. I know I changed the way and did certain things that I was doing. Like, bro, she's like, I wouldn't do it any differently, and I wouldn't change anything I've done over the years. And I understand why she understands why some people may like certain things more than others. But that's not going to change why I decided to do the things I did. So I know you don't like it, but I would have still done it that way anyway. Wow.
The Hollywood Sith Lord.
Word. She said, I think everybody that came into Star Wars space, they love Star Wars, and that was the first and foremost important. You want to have people coming into Star Wars and wanting to tell stories and wanting to make movies and wanting to create television shows that you respect and care about. Jon Favreau is completely different than Tony Gilroy, and yet they're both incredibly talented storytellers. I found it thrilling to support each one of them and trying to tell stories they wanted to tell. What's funny, Kathleen, that you mentioned Tony Gilroy and Jon Favreau, the two that did the shows that all the fans of Star Wars actually like, but you didn't name fucking whatever her name is that made The Acolyte. Well, how come you're not bragging about that? I thought you were bragging about that. I thought that's what you wanted.
I just want to make one point to Kevin Davis in the chat.
Oh, my bad. I'm not even looking at the chat. I can't see
he says Star Wars fan base deserves some of this blame, always attacking folks and then play victim. No, it's not that. When you know
what does he mean by that?
Well, he's saying that the fan base needs to take some blame for someone else's actions, but we're not attacking them as far as the person. We're attacking their decision making. We're attacking them trying to put their decision making, their poor decision making, and making us the excuse for their failure.
Right. That's what she's saying. She's saying that we're a very, very small percentage of the fan base, and we didn't like what she did, but fuck us anyways. She did it. She would have done it. She'd do it again.
And we're not a small percentage of the fan base. We are the fan base.
We are the fan base. 100%.
Minimize their what dog whistle and really jerk people's minds around to think that, hey, yeah, it's the fans, these hardcore old guys who, they're not
they're crazy. They just want to see the same thing.
Yeah, over and over. No, it's not that. Do the right thing. And it's not attacking folks. No, we're just setting the record straight with facts.
Yeah, I'm not attacking anybody. And as I said earlier, like I got respect for Kathleen Kennedy, and like I said, the whole title is all a joke. At the same
time, when you make a effed up decision and you already have the blueprints laid out to be a success, and you say, "Oh no, we don't like to be successful. We're gonna go this route." You got a problem, and you should be called out for it. Because one, it's a beloved franchise, IP, loved around the world.
Yep.
Give the people what they want. You want to make money. You're a corporation. You want to make money.
And you're buying something that already has a fan base. Why on earth would you fuck with that? Why on earth would you change it and then turn around when people don't like what you changed and blame them? Exactly. I can get that you wanted to change and do your own thing. Fine, go ahead and experiment. When we tell you, that ain't it, course correct. George Lucas even did that shit. We told George what we didn't like. He fucking course corrected.
He minimized Jar Jar Binks in the later,
You know what I'm saying? We told him in the first movie came out, we were like, whoa, Jar Jar, bro, come on, B. And the Anakin kid, nah. Next movie, what'd he do? Jar Jar was in the back. And he did it not because, he agreed. Like, he wanted Jar Jar in the movie. Like, he still stood by his decision. He had a reason for putting him in there and the way he did it. And it's not that he agreed with us, but he knew that he was making something for a fan base that has been in this thing for decades, and you just don't fuck with that. You can, but you're being a dick. Let's be honest. And it's like, it's that simple.
Look what they Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
Exactly. He said Star Wars sequel trilogy was white-led actors beside John Boyega. Folks wasn't complaining about no storytelling at all.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know. John Boyega should have been the lead. He should have been the lead, but he wasn't. He was thrown to the back by the white girl. And that was the problem. He should have stayed the lead, like they acted like. Bro, in all the trailers, we thought we thought this dude was going to be a Jedi. I thought he was going to have powers, bro. And they acted like he was going to be a Jedi and everything and be force sensitive. and then
Black Han
basically
Solo, something.
by the third movie, he barely was in it. He was just there to scream Rey's name.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what the fuck? Let's shrink him on the poster when we send it to fucking China. They don't like
yeah.
B. I got no respect for Disney Star Wars, man. I got respect for I got a little respect for Favreau and Filoni because they rock with George Lucas. They know what Star Wars is really about. And you know what I'm saying? We're I love the like it's they love to say that the fans that say this are like racist white guys.
No.
Do any of us seem like racist white guys to you? So like, where's this narrative that this complaint is coming from bigots and all this? Like, we're like, come on, bro. It's. I think you're really grasping at straws. You're trying to, it's like what she's doing here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's backpedaling. It's excuses, but it's very revealing. And what she's gonna say here in a minute is super crazy. But she said that's what I think that I do well, and that's what I think I like to do, and I want to continue to do, and hopefully that took Star Wars into the next step. We'll see in the long run, but it feels like it did. I feel like we expanded the universe. We brought new audiences in. Well, that's what you didn't do. You didn't expand anything. You changed it. You didn't bring audiences in. You created a new audience. You could have expanded it by keeping what was there and adding to it, not changing what was there. That's not expanding. They act like we're evolving it. No, you're changing it. You add on, you build, you add on. You don't just take away and change it and then act like you're being creative or some shit. You're piggybacking off something that's famous and you're trying to act like you did something. She said, but especially with something like Star Wars, where George just created something that became part of everybody's childhood. Every single filmmaker that walks in and wants to work on Star Wars, the first thing they say to me, the first thing I hear is, let me tell you about when I went to see Star Wars for the first time with my dad. But you want to fuck with that. You know that, but you want to fuck with that. Did they say the first time that my mom took me to see Star Wars? Man, nobody said that to you. No one said that to you. No one. I promise you. She never heard those words uttered. But it is what it is, dog. I think Disney knew that they knew that Pokemon was huge. They knew that boys were the biggest part of the merch market, and all they had was princesses and girls. So they wanted to get into the boy market. That's where the money was. So they wanted to buy Marvel and Star Wars because they were boy attractions.
Yes.
This is a fact.
Yes.
So that's why they bought them, to attract boys. There's no two ways about that. They did not set out to buy them because they thought they needed to be feminized. They bought them to attract boys.
Mm-hmm.
So why they ended up turning around doing what they did was from pressure from Twitter and certain groups.
Yeah.
And they folded. And then you have executives at Disney coming online making crazy, bold, racist ass statements. You don't think it's racist to say that we will never hire white men? Like, that's a racist statement.
Yeah.
You could have said a lot of things better than that. You could have said, we're gonna, do more, centric, more, you could have fucking said anything. That was just some bullshit to say. Like, that's wild, bro. But you said it in a way that makes me know that y'all sit there and you know what you're doing.
Or multicultural,
what you're doing,
things of that nature, whatever.
Yeah, you could have said, we're gonna
all these properties that they got are multicultural faceted.
But Marvel is already multicultural. Marvel already has like 50% of it are female fucking characters. Star Wars, from the jump, you had female characters, black characters, right from the beginning. Like it's always been both of these IPs already had plenty of both people of color. Now maybe they could have used a little more, huh?
They may be arguing the volume of, okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, they could use a little more, but
Galaxy, I understand that, but at the same time, this is what we have.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean,
right.
When they later on, it's told from the storyteller's point of view, or whoever created it. You know what I mean? Right. Like you can't expect, and this is coming from me.
And it's like we saw that character,
the white guy, to put more black guys in the film when he's coming from his point of view.
There you go.
Know what I'm saying?
And now we have
expect the black guy to put a whole bunch of white people in his film because it's not from his point of view.
It's not from his perspective.
And like, especially kung fu flicks, they don't want anybody in it because it's not from, it's from their perspective.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Acting like they acted, and it's like, it's a fine line. But my point being is they acted like they were rescuing these super misogynist, racist IPs. Like, I don't think anybody ever thought of Star Wars as being like a racist show or movie. Like, no one ever thought of that. No one ever thought, those Marvel comics, that shit is fucking white supremacy. Like, no one fucking ever said that. So, like, where are you coming from? Like this overcorrection, but like I said, there was some correction needed. I think they overcorrected. I think they will dial it back to a place that is in more of a medium. Are there a lot of racist ass fans? Yes. Is there a bunch of racist YouTubers and shit? Yes. Are they looking for any time they see a female or a person of color in a movie to scream WOKE at? Yes. And it's absurd. But at the same time, while there's those ends of the spectrum, there's another end of the whole other end of the spectrum where you're fucking shit up too. And I don't know, bro.
And it's just messed up in totality.
I don't know any black people, Asian people, or females that didn't that felt Star Wars was racist or anything like that, or that really agree with the current bullshit they're doing now.
Like, when I first saw Star Wars, I didn't pay attention to none of that.
Exactly. Thinking about
this. Agendas at play is when you start paying attention. Oh, because the agenda wants you to pay attention for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like the A-Team. Okay, we watched the A-Team growing up. Yeah, it was 3 white guys and Mr. T. But it was Mr. T.
Right. He was the main draw.
Okay. Did I worry about race then? No.
Nope.
No. And it's a lot. It's whatever these agendas want you to look at. They want you to look at the old shows. Oh, it was racism back then. Yeah, it was racism back then. But at the same time, we had great shows that didn't focus on that as an agenda. Yeah, they had it sprinkled in there for awareness and understand how people act and react. But for the most part, it was just great storytelling.
Right.
You know what I mean? You look at The Love Boat, primarily a white show. Who was the standout? Isaac.
Right.
When you seen him. Benson.
Like,
you can have a predominantly white show and the black guy stand out.
What was Webster? Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So it's just like, how are we going to play this game? How are we going to play the game? Yep. Darth Vader is the most iconic character in cinema history. And who's the voice actor for him?
Yep. Black man.
Come on now. Let's not play those games,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I always, it never, I don't, obviously I'm Italian. I I'm not black, but I don't ever remember any of my friends. I mean, I grew up in a black neighborhood. My girlfriend's black, my wife's black, my friends are always been black. I just been around a lot of black people all the time, and we all like Star Wars. And I don't ever remember any time where there was ever a conversation about it being racist or anything at that time. No one was saying that shit back then.
Why is Luke not black? What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, there was, of course, jokes about oh, it's only one brother in the galaxy and stuff like that. But at the same time, nah. I mean, obviously, if Lando's here, there must be other black people here too. Yeah. That's telling you that there's black people around, right? It's not like where Logan's Run, that TV show about the future, when there was no black people, not one.
Yeah, Logan's Run is wild.
That's wild.
Entertaining.
But they weren't thinking like, oh, we better have some black people here, or it might look like we're saying that there's not going to be black people in the future. They didn't even think of that. They were just like telling it from their perspective, not thinking that. And so there is a need to be like, hey, you need to think about, like, you're selling this from your point of view, but you're not the only one watching it. And there's all kinds of people in America now. So yes, we do need to represent everybody in a way, but we don't to shit on others to show others. Like it's like when they have
like Devil's
the man superhero, and he's like super weak, and the woman superhero is like saving him all the time, and he's just like just a loser. Like, you don't have to do that to make her strong. They could both be strong.
Yeah, but the one, remember, what was the Will Smith movie? Wait, he got close to his wife. The where they were superheroes, they had powers.
Yeah.
And he got closer, he became weaker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, look at what I was going to say. Look at kung fu movies. Now they're gonna call them racist,
right? Yeah, I mean, they're told by Asians in Asian countries.
But Asians, they have a worldview, and they cater to their people, which are primarily.
But the kung fu movie, right? It's taking place in the Shaolin Temple or whatever.
Exactly.
There's gonna be mostly Asians there.
Yeah, all
Asians. Right. It makes sense. Well, I mean, now, no, but
now
back then, but now there's black monks and everything, but you got all kind of races that are monks now, but I mean, it makes it fit the time. It wasn't about being racist, and it's not like that you have to now save these IPs by down with the patriarchy and all this bullshit. You can elevate one without diminishing the other, and that's what I mean by finding a balance. It's like they overcorrected, they got to come back. Like maybe it was here, but they went here. They got to get back. They got to go here.
Yeah,
I mean, visually, but let's see. She says something about the. This is a lot of stuff I want to get to, where she's talking about.
I think most directors and creators have their audience that they want to give shit to. And they have the right to have whoever they want in the storytelling of what they want to tell. You know what I mean? There's something about Ryan Coogler. He was telling the story from his perspective. Okay, there wasn't not a lot of white people in that movie. There were some, but not a lot, because he's telling it from his perspective,
right?
As a storyteller, and the actors are a reflection of his storytelling. That's not racist. It's just their perspective. They're allowed to do that.
Yeah. Well, and Wakanda, it's in Africa, in a place where everyone is mostly black, so it makes sense that you're seeing mostly black people. And it's like, if there's something that takes place where there happens to be mostly white people, it doesn't make it racist. It's realistic. There are places where you just mostly see white people. We all know that.
Go to Scandinavia and shit like that, man.
There's places in fucking America.
Yeah, America too. Denmark, America. I mean, you go to Montana.
Like right in the United States where you see mostly white people. Yeah.
Shit, you go to parts of New York.
I was gonna say it's parts in Virginia.
For real. You know what I mean? It's just what it is, man. It's the reality of things. You know, you just can't be calling people out. I mean, people are familiar with what they're familiar with, and they're gonna tell a story from that perspective. That's it. That's all. Now, if you don't like it, then make your own stories in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Or find people who have access to do that and pitch the idea.
Yeah.
I mean, or with the advent of AI, everybody's gonna be making their own movies anyway.
Well,
Make your own movie with AI.
You know, she wanted to make a Ryan Coogler Star Wars movie. Yeah,
that'd be different.
Yeah,
why
said,
not?
Why not? Well,
but
because it's not really his bag. That's why not. But she would take someone who's not into Star Wars, doesn't do anything with that type of shit, and then make them do Star Wars. That's what she wanted to do.
But would that be successful? Because
exactly
that wouldn't be successful. They can do it, yeah. Why not? Mm-hmm. But it'd be an experiment, you know, and it'd be a failed experiment because there's a certain type of drama to Star Wars that's not the same drama that he would inject into it. You know what I'm saying?
He's definitely
a whole nother drama.
Well, yeah, and obviously he's more thinking about social things and political things and reality based and revolutionary things and stuff like that. Whereas, and here's the thing, Star Wars is fantasy. It's just fantasy, man. It's fantasy.
But if you look at Black Panther, that's fantasy. But that was the only movie.
But it's also very socially.
It was heavy. Out of all of MCU, that movie, Black Panther, was the most heaviest out of all the movies due to the underbelly of the social,
right?
You know, part of it, the revolutionary part of it, the cultural part of it, and things of that nature that was melted in. Even going outside the movie and everything surrounding it. So,
but it's like, to me, with I didn't really like the movie. I'll keep it a buck. I didn't really like Black Panther.
No, I love it. That was the only.
I mean, like with the, like, I don't know, like you said, there's parts about it, there's things about it that make it special, that make. But I mean, the movie in and of itself,
I didn't like the CGI of it. I hated it.
Yeah, like it was like really didn't look. It looked really bad to me. I don't know why. I don't know.
Yeah, when they was at the end in the fighting scenes, I didn't
mainly the fucking fight scenes. Yeah, and the cliff and all that. It was just looked really bad.
But
it looked like a play. That's why I didn't like it, because it just felt like a play.
Oh yeah, because the lighting was kind of. It didn't look natural. It looked like they was on a set instead of actually.
Like they were on a set. Yes.
Yeah. You know, because the lighting was kind of off, and it looked like, it was off. I understand that part. Yeah.
But you mentioned Ryan Coogler, and she says, or they talk about him here. He said, it was always great when a movie makes us feel that way. I felt it on Oppenheimer, more recently, one battle after another, which was pretty good. And especially Sinners, which I thought was dope as well. He said the audacity of Ryan Coogler to veer from that sultry blues number in that club to imagery, people of past and present, from Africa to Compton, where you see the connective tissue and historical influences past and present to that form of music. Coogler went into the genre sandbox and tuned it completely to its ear, and made it relevant to everybody as they thought about their own tribal roots and origin stories. I don't think I'd ever seen that in a movie quite like he did it. I imagine you'd give your eye teeth to have a guy like that see what he could do his mark in Star Wars universe. She said, "Oh, trust me, Mike, this is a big part of what I tried to do. Sit with the people that I would love to see step into this space and create something that was never seen before. But Star Wars isn't really Ryan's thing. The trickiest thing is to find a filmmaker and say, you can step into this space and you can still be you." Tony Gilroy, it makes sense, but like, you can't do that with Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying it makes sense. Look at the independent on Disney Plus, where you had the animation and different takes, the different points of views from the Sith and the Jedi perspective. You're right. What do they call it? I forgot what they call it.
What was this?
The visions. Remember the
Star Wars?
So those are different perspectives. Now, say do it in that format, format to where it's a glimpse. Don't let it be the tentpole carrier.
You see, I'm glad you brought up Visions, bro, because Visions, that's a great example of how we know we're not just assholes, right? Mm-hmm. Visions is something that totally is different than Star Wars. It makes new stories. It has completely new characters. There's no Luke Skywalkers. It's all new made up shit.
Yeah.
Visions is some of my favorite Star Wars content, period. Because it's good. I don't care that it's different. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? They did it, but they stayed within the shit that makes Star Wars Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You have Ronin. You have shit where it's like they made it a samurai, and it's like, but for some reason it all still feels like fucking Star Wars, and that's what I think they lost with Disney. Disney's like trying to change it and make it different, but also they're not sticking to what made it Star Wars, and that's the problem. Like, I'd love to see Ryan Coogler do a Star Wars project as long as he can keep it in that making Star Wars what Star Wars is, right? You got to keep Star Wars, and then you can do something cool. And like Visions is a perfect example of the way that can be done in a way that even a hardcore Star Wars fan will not only appreciate but love. And Visions is the proof right there, because
I would love for him to if he not to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
I would love to see if they had a Ryan Coogler to do a Visions from Lando's point of view, Lando Calrissian's. You know what I'm saying? That would be interesting.
Hell yeah.
Came up, and how did he get to where he's at in Cloud City? How did he do all these things? How did he well, it showed
the Orlando movie. Yeah, I want to see Orlando show.
Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting, to see that, his take on it. But
imagine how dope it would be. Like you said, how did he get to that point? Like his story is dope, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they touched on
comics. Well, if you read the comics, you'll know what it is. But it's dope. It's dope. They need to make movies. But that's the thing. Like, you can make these movies. You can do all these things. You can make movies with black leads or female leads or all that. That's never been the problem. That's great. Do that. But you have to keep it Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's what they failed to do. Right. And they failed to do that because they thought none of that stuff mattered. They thought that they could, like, they thought they understood. They thought Star Wars was something very superficial and very simple. And you can watch The Acolyte. Like I said, as soon as you watch them talking in the beginning of The Acolyte, it's like, oh my God, this is what y'all think that Star Wars is. And it's like, there's such a superficial idea of what it is. So these guys, they had this superficial idea and they think, oh yeah, we understand this silly little thing, these weirdos. Well, we're going to make it so much better. That's some bullshit, bro. That's some real bold shit. But a good example of where it did work, where it worked incredibly well, is Andor. Tony Gilroy, not a fan of Star Wars, didn't really like Star Wars, and made, in my opinion, like the best Star Wars show ever.
He did.
And she says here, Tony Gilroy, I knew him well from the Bourne Identity movies, which I love. He didn't see himself in the Star Wars universe. I said, okay, let's just talk this through. And he came in on Rogue One and helped us, which I think, bro, Rogue One is like my third favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. But that's another great example of how Disney or, someone else can make Star Wars. It's like, ain't nobody saying we just want to see George Lucas over and over.
Yeah.
But we want that shit to be good, and Andor and Rogue One are the perfect example of how to do it right.
Yeah.
You can make something completely new, completely fresh, completely unrelated from the from Skywalker, shit like that. But and new characters and bring in some new directors and all that shit. You just kept it Star Wars. Rogue One, he said, and he helped us slowly he started to get hooked. She said, by the time we were talking about Andor, he found a way in because he realized there was something important that he had to say and he could do it inside Star Wars. And that started to become very exciting for him. It's thrilling to try to find that. I've had early conversations with David Fincher, with Vince Gilligan for TV. I've sat down with Alex Garland and others where the minute you say their name, you go, oh, that might be an interesting Star Wars. You know who would make a dope Lando fucking movie or show? I mean, is Vince Gilligan, the dude that made Breaking Bad. He's an incredible TV writer. He made Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and all that shit. But he said not everybody's gonna, oh yeah, I'm gonna drop everything and spend the next 3 to 5 years trying to figure this out. They got other things to consider, and things are really complicated, difficult movies to make. Far more than I think people give them credit for. People have to set their lives aside for years.
People understand how going into a franchise, it takes a toll because there's a lot of expectations, demands, a lot of details and tedious things. You have to have it right because it's for the directors and the creators. It's their careers on the line. You want a great resume to follow you so people can hire you at the drop of your name. You know what I'm saying? And that's where a lot of the directors and creators in that industry, that's what they strive for. That's what they do. You know, and if they catch duds, their name is mud in the street. You can't, you can't do that. So
you're ruined.
Yeah.
You'll never work in this town again.
Exactly.
Well, she says, so here's the thing with Rian Johnson. So recently, this is the big headline now. She said this thing about Rian Johnson, and he clapped back. He clapped back. It was kind of corny, but she said, well, she said, what about Rian Johnson returning? After Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi grossed 1.3 billion globally. We expected him to return. And that's what I was saying to Stu earlier. We might think that these movies are failures, because in our eyes, these movies are failures. They suck. They have nothing to do with Star Wars. We hate them. But they made billions of dollars. And that's why it's so hard for us to get our point to, Lucasfilm and to get them to do what we want, because they see that what they're doing works for them.
And globally, too, because we also got to understand people outside of the U.S. in certain cultures view movies differently than we do, in a sense. Some, I'm not saying all, but some, it's okay, they'll go to see it because it is Star Wars.
Right.
We're going to watch it and not really understand.
Just enjoy it. Yeah, it's just love it all and just be
understand it's a space movie, space nights and stuff like that. Oh, I like it. It's action. Take my girlfriend out and we can have a ball. That's it.
And whatever is said or shown in those movies, they love it and they support it.
Yeah. Where we are
critical.
And very critical to a point where it's critical like a religious cult in a sense. And I gotta equate it to that because it's our childhood. We grew up on it. We grew up it thoroughly. We seen it everywhere. We wore the under rules. We played with the toys. This was a thing for us. Just like in Japan and other world, they have anime. So if somebody in the US critiques anime, somebody over there gonna be like, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to respect that because that's where it came from.
Yeah.
So when they say 1.3 billion globally, you got to think these are casual moviegoers at the end of the day.
Well, that's what I meant about they look really great. Like these movies look great. So to the untrained eye, to the non-Star Wars super fan, you would think this is great. And then you would see us fans complaining, and you would go, what are you complaining about? Y'all are tripping. Y'all are just nitpicking. You're being assholes. What are you talking about? These are wildly great movies, successful. Look at them. I mean, look how great they look. I mean, what are you talking about? They don't know any better. And to the untrained eye, they are great. They are wildly successful.
Yeah.
And then it does make us look like the old heads or the angry guy on the lawn, because it makes us seem like we're the minority now.
Yeah.
Because the majority must love them, because look how much money they're making. But it's like, no, there's a lot of movies that make a lot of money like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they're great Star Wars movies. Like, and there's a reason that we would be upset about it. Like, I'm not upset saying that these movies are just, you know, utter B movies or something. Like, I'm not saying the movies are just trash movies. I'm saying as Star Wars, I can't fuck with it. You're telling me Star Wars, and it shits on everything I know about Star Wars. It really shits on what I loved about Star Wars. It shit. Yeah. I mean, you fucked up, dog. You fucked Luke up, dog. You are you kidding me?
You destroyed the story, the story that was developing, the expectations of
it was going somewhere.
Yeah.
And there's been I'm talking about probably 100 novels of what Luke does after the movies.
Yeah.
You said none of that happened. People have been reading these novels. People have books. I've seen bookshelves, whole bookshelves, wall to ceiling, wall to wall, fucking ceiling to floor bookshelves of just Star Wars novels. People are like fanatics. And like that whole novel world of Star Wars, to me, is the best part of Star Wars. Like, that's where all the real lore is at. That's where all the good stories are at. That's where the real shit is. And it's all about what happened immediately after the movie ended. Immediately. And where does it all go from there? To the point of Luke's grandkids. Like, we get that far.
Yeah.
And we've been reading these books for decades, man, and we've been growing with this character. And then you're going to tell me I'm an asshole because you shit on that character? I'm not tripping because I'm upset that you did this to Luke Skywalker. This is some, you know what I'm saying? That's what people don't get. It's like you can argue with them and say that these movies are trash and all that, but it's like they won't get it. They won't understand why you're saying it's trash, and then they'll turn around and say, oh, you're just being an asshole or whatever, because they don't understand why you're saying it's trash. And that's what makes it so hard, because globally and in the casual audiences, there's nothing wrong with these movies. It's what's wrong with them is the fan base, and which is saying this very, very small percentage. It's not the very, very small percentage of the fan base. The Star Wars fan base is a very small percentage of the world.
Yes.
And that's what you're seeing. The Star Wars fan base is telling you no, not a small percentage of the Star Wars fan base. Because when you're saying that means what you're doing when you're saying the small percentage of the Star Wars fan base, when you say the fan base, you're including all the people that have become fans since the sequel trilogy, but weren't fans before the sequel trilogy and don't like the stuff before the sequel trilogy. You cannot lump them in and say that's part of the fan base that's complaining.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not a percentage of that fan base. So it's all about perspective, you know? But she said what she said about Rian Johnson, though, because he made this crazy $1 billion seemingly successful movie. Well, why isn't he back? She said once he made the Netflix deal and went off to start doing Knives Out films, that has occupied a huge amount of his time. And that's the other thing that happens here. After Sean and I started talking about Star Wars, Stranger Things kicks in, and he was completely consumed with that for a while. And that's what happened with Rian. And then I do believe that he got spooked by the online negativity. I think Rian made one of the best Star Wars movies. He's a brilliant filmmaker, and he got spooked. This is the rough part. When people come into this space, I have every filmmaker and actor saying to me, what's going to happen? They're a little scared.
I hate that. When they say negativity,
right?
No, it's critiquing.
criticism.
And they say it's negativity. That makes no fucking sense.
You criticize, it's negativity, right?
Yeah.
Or if you leave any kind of review that's not glazing it, you're review bombing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the bullshit about it I don't like. If you're an artist, you're supposed to take a critique. You don't have to internalize it, but understand people are gonna have their different opinions about what you produce as an artist.
And what's the point of art? To cause a physical to cause an emotion.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a positive one. Art doesn't have to make people happy. Great art could make you puke.
Yeah.
You might see a painting and it makes you want to vomit. That's a fucking brilliant piece. Mm-hmm. You see a painting and it makes you want to cry. That's a brilliant piece. If you see a painting and it makes you filled with rage, that's a brilliant piece. If you see a painting and it makes you happy, it's a brilliant piece. If it makes you intrigued, it's a brilliant piece. If it makes you think or feel something, it's brilliant art. There's no good and bad art. There's art that makes you feel or think, and there's art that doesn't make you feel and think.
And one art piece can do all of that to people. So it's like, you just take it as it is. As the creator of it, you're looking at it, hey, I have some people who don't like it and people who do like it. As long as the artist likes it, okay, that's cool. But all in all, everything is an opinion and a perception of the individual. That's all. Exactly. But when they take it and weaponize it to go against and try to smear the person that's critiquing the art,
right?
That's a problem, because now you're trying to hold back my voice and what I want to say about what I've experienced through your art.
Exactly.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Come on.
Well, so Kennedy, she said the shit about Rian Johnson getting spooked and being scared and all this, and he tweeted, LOL, 0 spooked, sorry, and put this picture.
And he looks like he just said that.
Right, yeah, don't he?
Yeah, 0 spooked, sorry. And then took the picture.
Word. I mean,
oh, yeah.
But that's Kathleen also attributes his lack of return to Star Wars to deal with Netflix working on Knives Out. Yeah. But yeah, so that's that. Then she talks about what was it? You know what? Hold on. Oh yeah. Hang on, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go to this one. All right. So she said something about the Ben Solo movie. Okay. She was asked about the Kylo Ren movie in this interview, and I couldn't find this shit. Wait, is this it? Spielberg. She said something about David Soderbergh. Well, anyways, I don't know. I was trying to find it in the original, because this is the original interview on Deadline.
Kingsburg in writing and producing.
Here it is. Yeah. Okay. Are there any other Star Wars films or spin-offs that the fan base will never forgive me for overlooking? We've talked about this new trilogy and the things that you've mentioned. Oh, so he mentioned the new trilogy?
Yes, I think it was. Yeah,
you've developed thicker skin, no doubt. Yeah, you can't have been used. You can't have been used to all the criticism when you were producing all these movies with Frank Marshall or Steven Spielberg. What do you say about the ease of apprehension of these newcomers to the Star Wars universe? Every time you release another movie or series, it's like fire in the hole. She said, "I'm honest, especially with the women that come into this space because they unfairly get targeted. I don't try to sugarcoat it. And I emphasize that it's a very small group of people with loud megaphones. I truly do not believe that the majority of the fans. And I think that we're also in this weird world of where the bots can affect things. You have to develop a tough skin. It's exactly right. That's what you have to do, and you can't make it go away. So all we can do is put our heads down and do the work and believe we're doing the best we can, telling the best story we can. And if somebody gets really nervous about it and doesn't want to do it, I say, then don't do it, because I can't tell you this won't happen." Well, the people with the loud megaphones and the small group, that's y'all.
Yeah, exactly. And did the bots tune out from watching? Wasn't the bots that did not give you the ratings you wanted for Acolyte?
Right.
It was the people who said this was crap. We're not tuning in. We're done.
Right.
So what are you talking about?
It's an excuse. It's obviously an excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's trying to, this is her fucking exit interview. This is her exit interview. She's backpedaling on a bunch of shit. She's trying to make excuses. But so she does go on though to say something that I also found funny, and at least that they admitted it was about the Solo movie. But she said, how's the new project with Simon Oh, wait, did I read that all yet? Yeah. How goes the project that Simon Kinberg is writing and producing? He's working right now. He wrote something that we'll read in August. It was very good, but not there. We've pretty much upended the story and spent a great deal of time on the treatment. When he finished it literally about 4 weeks ago, and it's very detailed treatment, like 70 pages. And so he is expected to give us something in March. I believe, and if this is she talking about the Star Wars trilogy, a new Star Wars trilogy confirmed by Kathleen Kennedy. Not there yet. So that's what we're reading. So there's nothing else. I was seeing there's some, if she was talking about the Dawn of the Jedi, but she's not. Okay, so that's the new trilogy she's talking about that supposedly they're doing. And it's, you know, based on the Rey shit and all that. Are there any other films or spin-offs the fan base will never forgive me for overlooking? Well, we've talked about this new trilogy, and then the things that you've mentioned. Mangold's really on the back burner, as is Soderbergh's. Okay, that's what I was looking for. She said Mangold's is really on the back burner. Mangold's is the one I was looking forward to. That's the one about Dawn of the Jedi, which was based on the comic series Dawn of the Jedi, which tells the Dawn of the Jedi, but it goes back 25,000 years before Luke Skywalker. When there's a whole other race of beings called the Rakata that they're before the Sith. They're the first dark side motherfuckers, and they're way worse. And then you got the birth of the Jedi, and then the birth of the Sith later, and all that. And so all that takes place in the comics, and like they were going to make a movie, and then Kathleen Kennedy stepped in and was like, well, the script you made doesn't really align with, you know, the Rey story and all that. We want the script to align with the Rey story. Well, here's the thing. It's not supposed to align with anything, just like the comics don't align with the Luke Skywalker story. It's about the origins of the Jedi. It's not even about the Jedi Council. This has nothing to do with anything that we... And that's my point. You can make some all wild new shit that has nothing to do with Luke Skywalker or George Lucas's stories, and it will still be loved by the fan base, and you can tell from the comics and the books. So, you know, it's a lie when she's saying that they're trying to find, you know, they just want to make new Star Wars stuff and new characters, and, you know, not just do the same Luke Skywalker story.
But you know,
that's a lie. If that was true, there's plenty of ways to do that without doing what she's doing.
But here's the other thing we haven't, and I don't know if we touched on: merchandise. See, this is the other part of it. They're in fear of not making money off the merch for these different movies.
Yeah,
because they're not C-3PO, they're not R2-D2, they're not Chewbacca, Vader, the regulars that we known.
That's why they came up with BB-8.
Yeah,
they were trying to make a R2-D2 and shit.
Yeah, so if you notice, even Lucas, he did it when he made Jar Jar Binks. He thought it would go over like C-3PO.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're always looking, and sometimes we forget as fans, we got to look at it from a corporate perspective.
Business. Yeah.
Business. So what merch is going to tie into all this for the casual buyers, the casual watchers? Now, Rey was good casually. The First Order was good casually. You know what I'm saying? These characters. And then they phased out casually. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? the Dawn of the Jedi wouldn't have had no merch. Really, I mean that's not true though. They would have had plenty of merch because I was just thinking they wouldn't have had no known merch, but Andor had merch. They came out with merch.
Yeah,
so they all come up with merch.
They come out with merch, but sellable merch.
Yeah,
like, I mean, for the diehards, yes, you'll grab it.
Andor merch sellable?
Maybe not.
Not really.
I haven't seen. Yeah, exactly. So they don't want to be stuck with a IP that they can't make money off of, like real money. Like the movies is one thing, but the merch is the that's why Disney.
But they make Andor,
huh?
They make shit like Andor. There ain't no merch.
That was
no
television. And they did the merch for Andor, but it didn't. It wasn't a mass marketing thing.
There was, but you weren't trying to make no cute aliens or nothing like that.
Exactly. That's why they did the other thing on Disney Plus with the.
My point is that they can do that. They can choose not to. They can choose not to do that, and it can still be successful. They don't have to get.
But
you know what I mean,
but what I'm saying is, corporate wise, their key is to get merch out there and make sales. They don't really care, and that's what I think we're missing the point. They don't really care about the goddamn movies and shit like that. They don't care about that.
Oh no, they do not.
They only care about the fruits of that movie. So what merch can we align for people to purchase? We need to do bed sheets. We need stuff for Halloween. We need comics. We need all this stuff. We need people to buy this stuff to make it worth our while. Now, if these movies don't translate into that, why are we going to put energy into it? And that's from the corporate aspect.
Well, when I see shit like this, I think that I do lose hope for any Star Wars anytime soon that I'm going to fuck with. She's saying here, she says, Mangold's movie, that's the Dawn of the Jedi, and is on the back burner. Taika Waititi's movie is still somewhat alive. So the guy that destroyed Thor: Love and Thunder, we're gonna let him make a Star Wars movie because he did such a great job with Thor. No, let's have him do what he did with Thor. Let's do that with Star Wars now. The fan base is gonna love it. See, it seems like they're trying to do shit that they know only the new Star Wars audience is gonna be down with. They're not. They're purposely trying to distance themselves from the Star Wars that anyone is a fan of. So when people say Star Wars is dead and it's over, they have a good point. My point is that maybe one day Star Wars won't be run by these people. Just like you know, the X-Men used to be run by Fox. Now they're run by MCU and blah blah blah.
Again, from a corporate perspective, whoever buys these, once the licenses become free enough to bid on, whoever acquires these licenses, these IPs, are really going to look at the merchandising aspect for the most part. Because just like with G.I. Joe, the cartoons were the commercials to buy the action figures and other products. These movies are the commercials to buy the merchandise at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And that's how they see it. And that's how forever they're going to see it. They're not going to, that's why they can't chance a Ryan Coogler doing a Star Wars, because what type of excitement they're going to get from a Coogler's Star Wars? What characters are they going to get from a Coogler's Star Wars that will resonate with the mass globally for merchandise sales? You know what I mean? So that I understand the corporate aspect of where they're seeing it. That's why I'm like, I'm through in a sense where I already know it's over in that aspect. Because if they can't make money for merch, for these properties can't make money from, because that's their big haul, is the merchandise.
Well, that's what Grogu's about.
Yeah. Grogu was like the biggest success since, you know what I'm saying, that they had Mandalorian. You know what I mean? So, and they were killing it on the merchandise. They were killing it, even though they overproduced. Because that's why we see them at Ollie's and discount stores, because they overproduced. But even in that overproduction, they made a lion's share worth of money off of that character.
Well, you know if they're, yeah.
So that's,
I mean, all I know, bro, is this interview right here.
Yeah.
Solidifies every reason why I'm so glad she's off of Lucasfilm.
But we never know.
Everything that she's saying in this interview is exactly why I don't want her running Star Wars, and I'm glad she's not.
But then somebody worse might even come in, bro.
We know who they got now. We know who's in. It's Dave Filoni.
Yeah, Filoni.
And that could go one of two ways. He could be just a Kennedy acolyte now and just, go get along and just try to please everybody like she was or whatever. Maybe he's going to be scared that, he doesn't know, it's too much for him. He's going to get overwhelmed. We don't know. He's never had this type of responsibility. He's never had something this important. He's never been a filmmaker. But that's fine because he doesn't really have to be. He just has to be the Star Wars guy. He can hire the filmmakers as long as he's the Star Wars guy that knows I'm hiring this filmmaker because I know they're going to do Star Wars right. And when they make the movie, I'm going to make sure that they keep it in line with Star Wars. They're not going to be doing shit. And I'm going to be like, I'm going to tell him, you can't do that. He didn't have that power over the Acolyte. He didn't have that power over a lot of these shitty things that they've done since Disney. So
they're like scooters in Star Wars.
Yeah. I have some faith that there will be, just like now, there will be some projects that I like. I loved Andor. I like Mandalorian. So everything about Disney Star Wars has not been ass. The sequel trilogy was shit, and what they did to the storyline and to George Lucas's trilogy and all that, that's what's fucked up. But a lot of the shows were decent. I think Kenobi was shit.
I like Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew was great. Acolyte, Kenobi, and Book of Boba Fett. Those were the three that I think really sucked. I think Ahsoka wasn't 100% great, but it wasn't that bad. It had some really cool shit in it. There's some shit I really thought was really cool. So I'm really excited. Yeah. Like I dug Balon's skull. I even liked the zombie troopers. I like Thrawn and that whole fucking world that he's got going on. That's wicked cool. But again, I love Thrawn because he's from the books. He's a book character. Comics and shit. So it's it's good to me that Dave Filoni's going that direction, because Kathleen Kennedy made this declaration that the books and the comics and all that shit were not going to be canon anymore, because they wanted to go in this new direction where Luke basically dies and Han dies, and we're just going to end that there, because the comics and everything continues all that. So they wanted to end all that canon. But Dave Filoni, in his projects, in all of Filoni's projects, from The Mandalorian on, he's pulling in shit from George Lucas's script that he outlined and gave Disney and said, this is what I want you to do with Star Wars. And they didn't. He's pulling shit from that into his projects. He's going to the Legends canon, which is the books and shit for Luke and all that after the trilogy. What happens to them? He's pulling shit from that. He's drawing from Old Republic. He's going far back from Old Republic and putting shit in. So Dave Filoni has been sneaking this shit that she said wasn't canon into his projects because he knows that she would never know. Never have any idea that he didn't make it up. So it's easy for him to throw shit like that in. Like even in Andor, there's stuff from the Old Republic. There's stuff from the video game lore, from Star Killer and shit. So it there's potential. Like I'm not just gonna say that there's just never gonna be anything good from Star Wars anymore. A lot of this shit she's saying here about what she thinks is gonna happen, I mean, I don't like, but who cares what she thinks is gonna happen? She's talking about what she wants to happen. She's talking about what she did and how she wants it to be. Well, you're fucking done now.
Yeah.
kick rocks and let these new people do what they want to do. And luckily for us, this is the guy that created the Clone Wars show, created Ahsoka, created all this shit, did it at the side of George Lucas with George Lucas Consulting. Like, this is a guy that cares about bringing George Lucas onto sets. George Lucas was on the set of The Mandalorian as a consultant. Kathleen Kennedy would never do that. She couldn't care less about George Lucas. In fact, probably like you said, probably has some sort of personal beef.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has to. And they have history.
Yeah.
They made movies together back in the day.
Yeah.
They have a lot of history. So you never know what's going on. And it might not even be nothing you could pinpoint. She might just not like him. Might not be no event. She just might not like the guy.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. So you never know. But clearly she doesn't like him. Clearly. Very clearly. Even in interviews, it's very obvious. When we see them two together, it's very obvious they don't like each other.
Yeah.
But out of the movies that are still going to be happening, the Taika Waititis and all the nonsense, he said, Deadline asked Kennedy, what is she going to produce? She said, I'm open to producing any of what it is they need, certainly in the things that I've been involved in and the filmmakers that I've been working with. I'd love to see those go through if I could. But I'm not mandating any of that. I'm genuinely trying to support the new team that's coming in and encouraging them to make the decisions. They need to. You got to be on board to drive these things, and so I'm really encouraging them to do that. And hopefully they do. So Deadline said, it seems better than many situations where the leader steps away after a long run. Those remaining turn into a Game of Thrones thing. Now, clearly your marriage has endured and you and Frank Marshall pursued your passions. You'll do more together and be in each other's faces a lot more. Any concerns? I don't care. As one of his marriage 40 years, I don't care. Sounds like your challenge won't be keeping the guys busy. In fact, hold on. There's so much scrutiny and all the things Star Wars, Indiana Jones. Okay. Some work better than others, but they all seem to gross big numbers. Talking about the Indiana Jones movies. Is there any you wish that you had back and maybe you could have done better with more time, or that you would let go of something that you've seen get made or released? She says, no, I don't really have any regrets. Well, maybe a bit of regret about Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, I'm glad that she regrets this because I do too. And I think she admits what I think the problem was. She does. Okay. So I'm going to give her this one. I really am glad that she admits this, and it's fucking the only point I'm giving her. But Solo was trash because the guy that played Han didn't fucking hack like Han.
Yeah.
Didn't hack like, and the thing is that Harrison Ford is Han. So if you're gonna play Han, you gotta play Harrison.
Yeah.
And
even with Harrison talks now, he's Harrison, but whenever you see him, you're like, that's Han Solo or Indiana Jones. Because if you look at Han Solo and Indiana Jones, they're the same person.
Basically. Same
person, same mannerism, same twitches, same
for the most part.
Same person.
So and so like when you cast that role, you got to get an actor that can come in and basically act like fucking Harrison Ford, because you have, at least he's got to, you have to at least be laid back or something. This guy was like neurotic and like goofy and shit. Like he was the polar opposite of Han Solo.
Han Solo had that nonchalant pimp type shit.
Yeah, he was just laid back. Like, listen, kid.
Whatever. Yeah.
Shut up, kid.
I've been around the block. There's nothing you can tell me.
And he was like 25.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. But like, that's the cool thing. Like, so you can't be like, oh, well, that was young Han. Bitch, he was fucking young in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
That different 4 years earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. Exactly. But she says, I brought Larry Kasdan in on, and we were so excited about the idea. And then when you're going to do something, you realize fundamentally, conceptually, you cannot replace Han Solo, at least right now. Harrison Ford is a hard act to follow, Deadline said. Kennedy said, as wonderful as Alden Ehrenreich, the actor that played him, was, he was really good, and he's a wonderful actor. We put him in an impossible situation.
Yes, you did.
And once you're in it, and once you've committed, you've got to carry on. I think a bit of regret about that, but not about the movie making and filmmaking. I don't have regrets about that. I just think conceptually we did it too soon. I really liked the Solo movie. I just hated the Han Solo character so bad that I couldn't enjoy the movie. But if you really thought about the movie, like the movie was cool.
Yeah, the
Crimson Dawn and shit.
No. The run.
The Kessel Run, yeah.
Kessel Run and stuff like that.
Right.
But him being that is just a thing. It's just like great actors. The way they act is themselves.
Right.
But they make you believe in the character so much, you're not knowing that they're just playing themselves. Look at Jack Nicholson.
Bro, look at Robert De Niro.
Yeah, they're just being
the same dude in every movie, but he fucking is that guy. He's the different character. Like he's Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver, but then he's fucking Jimmy Conway in Goodfellas.
Yeah. And then, it's just
but then he could be Meet the Parents.
And he's the same guy. He's a cool dude. Yeah. Yep. Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell is Kurt Russell in every damn movie.
Yep.
I don't care every movie Kurt Russell is in, he's him. Same with Denzel. Same with Keith David. They're the same. They are them. Yeah. They just apply. Even Sam Jackson, he's him.
Yeah.
It's just
Kevin Spacey.
About how their range on how they convince you that they're a different character, but they always
exactly.
It's like
I seen a thing like because the dude Kevin Spacey, Kevin Spacey, right?
Him too.
He's like one of the dopest actors ever, but he got into some controversy and he got canceled for a little bit.
Tom Hanks too. I give them credit too.
Yep. But while Spacey was canceled, he was doing he did like a B movie, like a real shitty indie movie, where it was just like him on like the set with just some college guys making a movie or whatever. It was just like a really bad movie, right? But he was in it, and he was just talking to the other actor, and bro, he made me realize how easy these actors make it look. Because he was just being himself. He was just talking, saying the lines. And the other actor, bro, he was acting. And you could see, he's acting. And Kevin Spacey was just being.
Yeah, yeah.
But the contrast was so night and day, bro. But I looked at what Kevin was doing, and I'm like, he's not doing anything. He's not doing anything. He's just fucking saying the lines. But he's not doing it. He's not acting. He's not doing anything. That you can see, really.
Yeah.
Just like in real life, when you're talking to somebody, they're not doing it, they're not acting, they're just being.
Yeah.
And the idea is that how do you put that in a movie? How do I say a line that's pre-written and everything and make it seem natural? That's the whole act. That's the whole fucking problem of it. That's the whole skill of acting, is trying to make something pre-written seem natural and spontaneous.
Yeah, you don't go into it acting as you become the character. You become that character. You are that character, but in your own way on how you would present it. This
that character is you.
If I were saying this myself, this is
how you make the character you, right?
Yeah, make it me.
You gotta make it you, right? If you were that character, how would they be? Don't you try to be that character.
Exactly.
You make that character you.
Yeah,
and that's why these actors do. That's why you see them the same guy in every movie, because they're making the character them. Han Solo, Harrison made Han Solo Harrison, basically. And so when you try to cast somebody, it's you don't want to cast somebody and you don't want them to do a caricature or an impression.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do it like an impression of Harrison. But all you had to do was just be a little laid back. Just be a little stoic.
Or by the way, or You know, like whatever.
Yeah, a little nonchalant, a little stoic. It's all you had to do. Not being over fucking neurotic and all. It was like, whoa. So yeah, they did him no favors by casting him, and that movie was doomed. But then she says, at the same time, many felt Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was an example of where Harrison Ford stayed a little too long at the dance. Kennedy says, no, I have no regrets about that because Harrison wanted to do that more than anything, and he did not want Indy to end with the fourth movie. He wanted a chance at another, and we did that for him. I think that was the right thing to do. He wanted to do that movie. I don't think Indy will ever be done, but I don't think anybody is interested right now in exploring it. But these are timeless movies, and Indy will never be done. So she said right now, nobody's interested in an Indiana Jones movie.
Because they don't want to step into the shoes of the man who's iconic.
Right. Yeah, nobody's interested in Indiana Jones without Harrison Ford.
Exactly. But remember when River Phoenix was young Indiana. That was special. Because River Phoenix was special himself. Great actor for his age at the time. And that was great. And
he was also young enough.
But here's the thing. He was the one successfully channeling Harrison Ford, if you notice. The smiles, the smirks, that whole attitude. He was perfect for a young Indiana. You're like, whoa, okay. Okay.
And he was young enough that, like, far enough in age that any differences could be explained in that.
Yeah.
Whereas Eldrin Kildrich, or whatever the fuck his name is, in Solo, he was only like 5 years before A New Hope. So you wouldn't be a different person. Like, yeah, you might be different before puberty, or like as soon as you're a teenager, you might be different than when you become a grown man. But pretty much, from 20 to 25, you're not changing. Too much.
That's what I would say when we were talking about channeling or being. I think Phoenix was the best because you've seen the glimmers, you've seen it all. You're like, whoa. Yeah,
he did the mannerisms and shit.
Yes. Without a character.
Not doing an impression. Yeah.
That was a keyest thing of him acting. And I think that's why the Phoenix brothers are just great actors. It's just them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just them. That's how they are. They know how to really put the work in. Rest of the River, of course. Because I was sad when I heard him pass. I was like, yo, he was just about to be the Ellis.
Yeah, like, bro. He was blowing up. Him and Heath Ledger too.
Yeah.
They were just about to blow up, bro. They were just about to really blow up.
Like, these guys, they just, you don't see too many like that, man. Especially nowadays, you got some good actors, but great actors, far few, man. It's just like that well is drying up, that, come on, but man, shit.
Well, we do have something to look forward to. Switching gears a little bit.
Okay. Oh, I don't know about that. Nah.
So you might not be excited, but I'm not excited because I'm excited because it's X-Force.
Okay.
But I'm not excited because I know who's gonna be making it. Let me fix my internet.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the X-Force from the Deadpool movies that they did. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, what are they gonna do this time?
So, but X-Force from before Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The question is, what are they gonna do with it? How is it gonna, is it gonna be, MCU? Is it gonna be what? But apparently, though, Marvel Studios is set to move forward with the second X-Men project. So they've already announced that they're doing an X-Men reboot, Jake Shearer's X-Men reboot, and then this is not necessarily official, but this new saga would get underway in 2028, and it would be kicking off with X-Men from Jake Shearer, then Ryan Coogler's Black Panther 3, with a sequel to Fantastic Four: First Steps.
Okay.
And a potential team up with Fantastic Four and Black Panther. Then a Midnight Suns project, which that I'm super, super excited for if they ever pull it off. Midnight Suns is hard to botch unless you just completely swap out the characters. So, but if you leave it Blade and Ghost Rider and Wolverine and which I'm sure they'll add a female somehow, but as long as they don't completely change the roster up, it'll be great. Among the projects reported and rumored to be on the way. But while MCU fans wait for Marvel Studios to give some insight into what to expect, another project might be finding itself in contention for the spot in the first phase of the new saga. And according to the industry insider Daniel Richtman, who is usually pretty spot on with these things, and he's usually always on point, says that in 2025, in May, the Hollywood Reporter reported that Ryan Reynolds was working on various treatments for an ensemble film featuring 3 or 4 X-Men characters. Shortly afterwards, the rumors emerged that Ryan Reynolds' project was indeed an X-Force film that would feature Deadpool, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, Josh Brolin's Cable, and a new actress as Storm.
Okay.
Though Rickman's report does not make the claim, it seems possible that the two projects are indeed the same one. So we'll see. But this team, you have X-23 there. You got the Native American character right there, Warpath. You got Domino. Domino was played by a black woman in Deadpool, so potentially she'd be a black woman. Then you have obviously Wolverine. Obviously, Archangel is in the back. Yeah, and I think that's Cannonball with the yellow arms. I'm not sure who they got right there. And then who that is behind him is. Fuck, who is that? I don't know who that is right now. I can't. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is in the far back. If anybody knows, let me know. But yeah, X-Force, one of my favorite teams. That's like the real, like some of the coolest comics, in my opinion, are the X-Force comics. Like I have a nice little stack of X-Force graphic novels. They're fucking super dark, super cool, super dope.
Let me see.
Let me see.
I'm gonna look for him right now.
So, Kick-Ass 2 director Jeff Wadlow was attached to X-Force once upon a time and had some unique plans for Wade Wilson. He said,
not the control.
I wanted to.
The yellow guy is Elixir.
Oh,
yeah, Josh Foley. Let's see.
The dude behind him, I knew who it was. I just can't think of who it is now.
Let's see, not Wolf Spain, not Hezbollah, not Peter. Could be Phantom X. No.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Actually, it could be. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If I grab the graphic novel, I could look it up, but so he said this dude Jeff Wadlow, who did Kick-Ass 2, was gonna do X-Force, and he said, I wanted the antagonist chasing them the whole time. He said Deadpool was introduced as a villain in the original X-Force run. So I had our main villain hire a mercenary to hire this group of ragtag villains down, and the mercenary hired was Deadpool. He was in motorcycle leathers in this red ballistic face mask. I made it very clear he was going to look just like he did in the comic books. I wanted Ryan Reynolds to play the part. I got in touch with Ryan, got him the script. He loved it. He said it was like a grand cameo for Deadpool. It was a supporting part. I played him as an antagonist, but ultimately they turned him in the end. Turned him to being a good guy in the end. But yeah, we will definitely keep you posted on the X-Force joint. Let me see. So this is pretty cool. A new report claimed that Marvel Studios has already chosen 3 villains for the X-Men saga, because basically the next, this is like all the Avengers and the new Avengers and shit. The next saga is going to be mutants. It's going to be all about X-Men. That's why we're going to see shit like X-Men and X-Force, and we'll probably see other shit, maybe Excalibur or X-Factor or different teams, whatever. During that saga, it'll be a lot of mutant shit. And so apparently they're saying that as the multiverse saga winds down with the Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, that the attention is going to move to the mutants. And aside from the debut of the X-Men, the upcoming saga will introduce a new array of villains, which like Apocalypse, Sabretooth, all these guys. And ahead of the saga's debut, a new report narrows down which of the key villains they'll be doing first. In the report, it said that it would be Bolivar Trask, the Sentinels. Yep, Bolivar Trask, who's like the guy that made the Sentinels, and Nathaniel Essex, aka Mr. Sinister, as recurring villains in a mutant-centric project, as ways to convince the general public that mutants and other superpowered individuals need to be feared. This is rumored to be the Department of Damage Control's grand plan to secure federal funding and continue its experiments on these individuals. So that will be kind of the basis of the storyline. It'll be, fear mongering and stuff like that. So
they did that with the First Class, right?
And X-Men, X-Men should be political. It should be political, and it should be about social stuff,
because that's what they were made for.
That's what they're for. That's what they're about. That's the whole point. That's what it's all about. The mutants are an allegory for Black people, and Martin Luther King was an allegory for Professor X. Magneto was an allegory for Malcolm X, and they played it out in that way. It evolves, and it can also be anything. You know what I'm saying? It can be anyone. You can put that to any group of minority. You can put it to any oppressed group of people. You can do it. The government against the people. You could put any what do you call it, conflict in there, but it's definitely got to be political. So it'll also be kind of poignant to what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? And with these 3 villains, they already pushed to the forefront in previous projects, either live action or animated. Seeing them in the shared universe alongside the X-Men and all that is going to be dope. Bolivar Trask, if you don't know, that guy is a scientist who created the Sentinels. And we did have a live action version of him in Days of Future Past, where he was played by Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones. And then in 2014's X-Men, but he'll be that was the only time we've seen him in live action. That was not the MCU. So him coming in now will be the first time he'll be in the MCU.
Yeah.
Basically, he views mutants as an existential threat to humanity. He believes that, you know, his beliefs closely align with the mutant saga's ultimate conflict, which is, you know, like I said before, trying to that mutants are to be feared, basically. And people with power. So meanwhile, the Sentinels are, you know, obviously the giant robots. This guy you see right here behind me, that's a Sentinel, and giant machines that basically can, you know, use AI to combat different mutant powers and stuff. The MCU could easily incorporate the Sentinel infused stories into the mutant saga. You know, as long as there's so many mutant stories in the comics and shit that they can just adapt. So it'll be dope.
Yeah.
The Sentinels are probably one of the most iconic mutant villains or bad guys or threats. And definitely one of the most dangerous. Definitely one of them. I mean, they're the ones that basically wipe out the mutants. So they're definitely the biggest threat. Now, Mr. Sinister has an unhinged obsession with creating the perfect mutant. He's a scientist, and his desire to do that fits into the grand scheme of things in the mutant saga as well. Alongside his array of experimentations, he's also basically immortal, infused with superhuman abilities. He's a villain who likes to kind of be a puppeteer behind the strings and shit. And so he might be, you know, behind the evil intentions of the Department of Control and Trask and all that stuff. He would definitely be that kind of behind the scenes big bad.
Yeah, because he convinces Trask to capture mutants for his experimentations.
Exactly.
Because in the Days of Future Past, that's what they were doing, but they didn't show Mr. Sinister. They just showed Bolivar Trask catching mutants. But when you see them go into his office, you see the wings, you see the different parts of different mutants that he operated on the field. So there you have it.
Yeah. And, you know, so obviously, you know, we'll have the other, you know, Brotherhood characters, your Mystique, Emma Frost, Toad, Blob, Magneto, would probably all end up being in you know, somewhere in the saga. Hopefully Sebastian Shaw would be.
I was going to say the Black King.
The Hellfire Club.
Hellfire Club. I think when they did that with the Hellfire Club, I love that. Out of all the X-Men movies, I love seeing that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So that's the crew that I like.
Kevin Bacon wasn't my like the way he played Shaw. It's not the way I would want Shaw, but I like the fact that they were like, I was hearing that name and I was like, oh, they're and he had the powers. He could absorb the energy and transform it into strength. And but I would like to see, you know, a real Hellfire Club, you know, something like from the comics and shit. It would be dope to see. It would be dope if they went into the Savage Land. Maybe we get Sauron, and he's like a big mutant pterodactyl.
Yeah, and the Savage Land. What is the creature that is the Savage Land? I keep forgetting.
Oh, Krakoa.
Krakoa, yeah. Seeing that, that'd be sick, man.
Yeah,
if they do it.
I mean, the whole mutant thing, bro, in the comics, it could make the best movies, bro.
Yeah,
if they just adapted it faithfully.
But they got the blueprint, and this is what the fandom is saying. And I mean all fandoms for different movie genres and movie and comics and stuff like that. There are blueprints to follow. Make it easier on yourself. You don't need to complicate it. It's there. The source material is there. It's just use it accordingly and make it exciting, you know, and you'll make easy money.
Easy money.
That's all. Who wouldn't like easy money? Corporations, they're supposed to thrive off of easy money. Well, making it difficult is just like putting yourself through reshoots and all this other craziness for what? when you already all you got to do is go and buy a comic book.
Exactly.
Buy the goddamn comic book.
That's all you got to do. It's already there for you. It's already laid out.
You know,
it's ready made, man. It's ready made.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, yeah, man. Before we go, this Wednesday we got Tony's Figs coming on. Shout out to Tony's Figs. Check out his channel and shit real quick. But he'll be on with us next week.
Well, y'all speaking on what figures y'all speaking on? Hope y'all not speaking on them damn G.I. Joe turtle crap.
Nah, see, what we gonna be speaking on is customizing figures.
Okay. Dope.
He's a customizer.
Okay.
He's like me. He likes to you know.
Oh yeah. Know about Tony. Yeah. He got some dope shit.
Bro, his Thrasher's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh damn, my
commercial
my YouTube premium shit canceled. So his look at his fucking whatchamobile. Thunder
Machine.
Thunder Machine, yeah. Damn. Look at Thrasher, bro.
Yo.
He made that, bro.
Crazy.
Out of a classified character. I don't know who he used.
Let me see the
or how he did it.
Oh yeah. It looks like he did it off
Xandar's legs. It's Xandar's legs. Yeah, it's Xandar's legs. Oh yeah, it's all of Xandar, isn't it? Yeah, it's Xandar. Okay.
Mostly,
yeah.
Which is dope. It's super dope.
The head though, the head is crazy. That's got to be a 3D printed head.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he made the vest or anything, but we'll be talking to him and finding out his ways.
Fire.
I want to learn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn how to do it. Because I do a lot of shit, but he's got a lot of shit that, I haven't even learned how to do, bro.
Yeah, and a lot of times Hasbro looks at these guys' figures and say, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And they wonder why the figures come out looking like, because they stole from the customizer.
Yep.
You kind of did what you did, right? Or
yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big wow, he went all in. What else did he do?
Yeah, matte finish, acrylic
did
paint.
He paint it up or something? I did. I painted mine up, but
damn. This shit
see what I did. And I went ahead, I went a step further, see how he has his with the white belt and shit. Because he's got this guy with all the black gear on and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got him. Oh, let me blow this shit up. So I swapped him and did the same thing. And this guy, he had a big white stripe on his leg. I had to acetone that off with a Q-tip. And but then you could just, God damn it, then you could just make him. Then you could just throw the trench coat on him pretty much. And he's gonna be the Punisher from
the comic, right?
Spider-Man. Nah, Spider-Man the animated series.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Usually this card helps it focus, but it's being an asshole right now. Whatever. So it don't have to focus. You get the picture. So, but then what he did is he's got the white belt with the white piece. He put it on the black Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
I took the Punisher's thing off. He's also got the white leg thing. I put the black leg thing on.
Mm-hmm.
I put the black belt on. Why did I do that? Because that's the original first iteration of the Punisher. That's how he first looked. He was all black. He had the white skull. He had white gloves and white boots. His belt was black. And all you saw was the white skull. And I'm talking about from the first time we saw him in Spider-Man.
Okay.
Later, they made his belt white, and they put maybe a white strap on his leg or something like that, a little white accent or something like that. They added a little more white around. there's like later comics, and normally, and so what most people are doing is they're putting the white belt on him and making that version of Punisher, which is cool, and then you put the black belt on this guy, and it makes him more accurate to the Spider-Man thing. My thing is this: I really like this original look, so I'm gonna probably leave it like this. I'm gonna throw the trench coat on him, and with the trench coat, you're not gonna see the belt anyway, so that handles that. And I had to paint his skull in because there was some little nicks and shit.
Yeah, you got the gun on his left calf.
Yeah.
Oh, because they have the handgun on the left calf.
Something like that.
Yeah, but there was a 38 I think he had on his boot.
What you talking about Spider-Man?
Yeah, you're talking about the Spider-Man from 129,
where he was first introduced.
Yeah,
From that comic on, this is how his costume was. I mean, bar little nuances like maybe what he had and shit like that. But
okay,
having the black belt, the white gloves, the white boots, and the white skull on the all black suit. That started in the Spider-Man comic. He was like that for a few comics later and shit.
Yeah,
I think it's Rick Remender. Who was somebody changed it to where he had the
blue
white belt like that. See how he has the white belt?
White belt, yeah.
The blue. This is just from the cartoon or the video game is when he's blue. But you see this other channel over here?
Yeah.
There's a ton of channels. Like every single toy channel is doing this. Look at all these
yeah, everybody's up
shorts right here. Everyone's doing this to their Punisher figures. They're swapping them because and Marvel knew what they're doing. They because look, they gave you this Punisher first with all black gloves and everything. And then they gave us this blue and white one. Yeah. When they know that eventually they're going to make the same body and they're going to make him with the white gloves and the like. Eventually, I'm pretty sure Marvel Legends eventually is going to give us this one.
Yeah.
Like, we're just impatient as fuck. I want this one right now. Somebody figured out it was really easy to just swap them, and then you could have the OG Punisher that we've all been wanting. Because I know a lot of us were kind of like really happy when this first came out, but then we were like, damn, it would just be a little better if it was all black. Like, why didn't they just make it all black? But it's because they're going to get more money this way.
Yes.
If they made him this way first, nobody would buy this one or the other one.
Exactly.
So that's all they're doing is they're just making us buy these so that before they'll make this one. But fuck you, Hasbro.
And then they'll give you an extra head sculpt too. With the
he'll be exactly. He'll have a new head, maybe some new guns, maybe, but you know those had the same guns.
Definitely have a stoic face and then a screaming head.
Yeah.
Like or the gut wrenching side angle where he's gritting his teeth and shooting like.
That's what I want because this one or the all black one, he came with like just a stoic face looking like that, and then he had a mouth wide open, screaming head, but it doesn't look good.
Yeah, they need the gritting teeth face.
So this one kind of did the grit and teeth face.
Yeah.
But I still feel they could do better.
But
I don't know. The camera's not focusing, but yeah, they could do better. But we'll talk to Tony Wednesday about customizing figures and all that good stuff, and he'll be on. But before we do bounce, here is what we can expect from Star Wars this year. All the shows, all the movies, and all that good stuff we've got definitely happening. Jon Favreau's Mandalorian Grogu movie, May 22nd, 2026.
Damn.
Maul Shadow Lord series, 2026. So the Darth Maul Shadow Lord animated series, that's definitely happening.
Yeah.
Star Wars Visions presents the 9th Jedi series, and Star Wars Starfighter, the movie with Ryan Gosling, that's May 28th, 2027. And then Star Wars Ahsoka Season 2 in production now. That's definitely coming out now. In development, meaning they are pretty much writing scripts and stuff like that. Dave Filoni's Mandoverse movie and New Republic movie, which the Mandoverse would have just been all the characters from all the shows, the Mando show, like Book of Boba Fett and all that.
Yeah.
Thrawn, Ahsoka, all that, all in one. And then you had Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy's New Jedi Order Rey movie. This is the movie that no one wants to see except for
Kathleen.
Yeah. And then you got Simon Kinberg's Star Wars trilogy, which we assume will be Rey-centric. And then On Hold or Status Unknown, Hunt for Ben Solo movie, Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie, James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie, Star Wars Lando movie, Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie, Mandalorian Season 4, Book of Boba Fett Season 2, and Carlton and Nick Q's Star Wars series.
Hold on. Rogue Squadron.
What? Yeah, Rogue Squadron movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Don't we have a Rogue already?
Oh, Rogue One?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why it's Rogue Squad. Well, Rogue One is Rogue One because of Rogue Squadron.
Yeah. I'm like,
that's No, there's Rogue Squadron is the squadron that blew up the Death Star and shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're just saying they're making a movie about them. Wedge Antilles and shit.
Oh, okay. I see now. I see. I'm like, hold on. Okay, so Rogue One was on the planet. That's, you know what I'm saying? And then I guess Rogue Squadron is coming from the ships, get ready to fight. And okay, I got you.
Okay, think about it like this. The Rogue Squadron that blew up the Death Star?
Yes.
Before Rogue One and the Death Star, they fought many battles.
Oh, okay. We're
talking about those battles. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rogue Squadron's past and shit.
All right.
That's what it was gonna be.
Okay, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it would just be like another Starfighter movie, but
okay,
about Rogue Squadron.
I can't wait to see that if they do it. That'll be something different.
Yo, you remember that movie with? I know you know this movie. This was my shit. Fucking Louis Gossett Jr. and fucking Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
With Zamis.
You talking about the Steel
Zamis?
He
was an alien. Louis Gossett Jr. was an alien.
Oh yeah, the last was his
son named Zamis.
That wasn't Last Starfighter. It was called the I have it downstairs.
Something like that. No,
hold on.
It was shit back in the 80s.
Yeah, because the alien.
Yeah,
the alien.
Yeah, the baby.
What is it called? Fucking. Enemy Mine.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Did anybody say it?
It used to be on HBO every goddamn morning,
all the time,
before going to school and shit. You're like,
I never called for the day. All right. Yeah.
Enemy Mine.
So, Enemy Mine, Last Starfighter. I think that's what the Starfighter movie with Ryan Gosling is going to be, sort of like that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's not going to be in like any known Star Wars stories or storylines or anything. And like they're saying that it's even going to be like it just takes place in the Star Wars universe, but they're not going to be like talking about shit we know or people we know or anything like that. And so I think it's going to be like Ryan Gosling and this little kid. And it's going to be some kind of a buddy movie between Ryan Gosling and a little kid. Those movies. Okay. Where it'd be like a guy and a little kid together going on adventures. Okay. They'll have So it sounds really cool, and it could be like, but that's going to be very different from what Rogue Squadron would have been. So when people hear Starfighter and Rogue Squadron, they think, oh, there's two Starfighter movies. It's not really. It's very, very, very different. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, canceled and dead. You have Star Wars Rangers, the New Republic series, the untitled J.D. Dillard and Matt Owens movie, the Rian Johnson Star Wars trilogy, Kevin Feige Star Wars movie, and David Benioff and D.B. Weiss's Star Wars movies. They've been dead for years. Well, out of the movies that are definitely happening, I am excited to see all of these. So people talking about, fuck Star Wars and all that. I'm ready to see Mando and Grogu. I'm ready to see Maul Shadow Lord for sure. Visions, Ninth Jedi, fuck yeah. Star Wars, Starfighter, I'm down. I'm open minded. Ahsoka season 2, down, ready, can't wait.
Me, keep hope alive, brother. That's all I can say.
In development, the Mandoverse movie, not really interested. Charmaine Obaid Chinoy's movie, gag me with a fucking rake. Simon Kinberg Star Wars trilogy, no interest whatsoever. For these on hold movies,
keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
Ben Solo, Hunt for Ben Solo movie, I would see just to see what it would be like, what it'd be about. I'd be interested to see. Dawn of the Jedi, I would be excited to see. Lando movie, I'd be excited to see. Rogue Squadron movie, I'd be excited to see. Mando season 4, I'd be excited to see. Book of Boba Fett season 2, you can, shove it up your ass. And Carlton and Nick Q's Star Wars series, I know nothing about. So yeah, I mean, there is some hope. There is some hope on the horizon.
On that whole list, the only thing I see is the Rogue Squadron.
You like that? That's the one you like.
Yeah, because it's in that realm, man. Like I was saying, it's just in that realm of that continuity. Yeah, it's in that continuity, that realm, that feel, and I would love to see how they gather that feel. And look at Andor, look at Rogue One. Yeah, they kept that feeling.
Well, out of this whole list, the Rogue Squadron and the Lando movie, would be the only things really related to like the original trilogy.
Yeah, Lando too, but they got to get the right director and the right actor for the Lando. Can't have old boy reprise his role as Lando.
Yeah, what's his name? Danny Glover. Did you not like his Lando?
No, because I couldn't picture him as a suave, swashbuckling pirate. It's just like, to me, he was trying too hard.
Yeah,
I couldn't see it in him. I it's just like.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah,
he didn't have that again. You have to have that Lando sensibility about you. You can't be a caricature of Lando, and he was a caricature.
Yeah, it's like, well, him and I mean, and he was in the Solo movie and shit, and like they both, I think, failed to play the characters they were playing.
Exactly.
But it is what it is. But I don't know. And a lot of this stuff that I'm excited for is animated. These two here, Maul and Visions, are going to be animated. Mandalorian Grogu, that's just more Mandalorian, so that's good. Ahsoka, a lot of, it's not like widely loved, but some people didn't like it, some people did. I thought it was cool, so I'm definitely down for season 2.
Yeah,
like all this shit.
Now, the shows I'm good with. I don't have no problem with the shows per se, because I know it's what it is, but it's the movie.
You don't think Starfighter's gonna be good?
It's just the movies. Like, if I'm gonna go out to the movies to see. It gotta be.
I'm not going to the movies to see any of this shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I when I say I'm not putting money to. I'm just like fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to like I'm
the only thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The only thing up here that I'd go to the theater for if it was good would be Rogue Squadron.
Exactly.
Dawn of the Jedi, and maybe the Lando if it was done right. And then but that's it.
Yeah, that's why I say Rogue Squadron would be that movie going event for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would love that. But other than that, man, Disney Plus or the bootleg sites, man, that's what it is, I guess.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely watching all this shit at home. The Mando movie, I'm watching that at home. Obviously this is all, but Starfighter, I'm watching that at home, bro. I'm not going to movies and see none of this shit. But like, that doesn't mean like I haven't been going to the movies to see movies since Star Wars since the sequel trilogy. Like when else have we gone to the theater since then? That's the last movie we got. Really,
fool enough to go to the first, the one with Rey. That first one, Awakens, I was a fool enough to go to that.
I definitely went to Force Awakens. I think everybody did.
Yeah.
Every Star Wars fan had to go see that, like, because that, and every Star Wars fan pretty much left leaving thinking it was decent. Like we all liked it. We just were like, okay, where's this gonna go? It looked cool.
We
like
were starved.
Right, we were starved. Starved. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens.
Yeah.
You starve, you eat one cracker, you're gonna think this motherfucker the best cracker you ever had in your life.
Yeah. Shout out to Eddie.
Like, God damn, this is Ritz.
This is Ritz.
Say, God damn, this is Ritz. This must be Ritz.
Shout out to Eddie Murphy for real.
Shout out to Raw, yeah.
That shit iconic.
That's mine. But yo,
yes,
it's,
sir.
10:22. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
We might hop over and check out the homies over at Casual Toy Collectors. But we'll see you guys Wednesday. With Tony's Figs will be here. And yeah, man. So y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Martin Luther King Day Monday, so you're off work. I know I am. And yeah, man. So kick it. And yeah, we'll see you guys then. Have a good weekend and Raw Talk.
Yes, sir. Next time, so Wednesday.
Absolutely. And as we always tell you,
be water, my friend.